I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
NFL Total Access, the podcast, is what happens when NFL analysts say everything they wanted to say on TV.
And he's just kind of wasting away out there.
But we're too polite to actually say it.
I miss doing that.
You can find out what happened on NFL fields just about anywhere. But on Total Access, you find out why.
You gotta want more, man.
So listen now to NFL Total Access, the podcast.
Let's go!
On the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready to start the new year strong? Then come out for the annual New Year's Resolution Run presented by Hunter Subaru. With 5K and 10K routes to choose from, runners, walkers, and family members of all ages and ability levels are welcome. You'll enjoy the vibrant streets of downtown Asheville on New Year's Day starting at 10 a.m. What better way to make 2024 your most successful year yet? Start it with a win at the New Year's Resolution Run. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. It is a holiday week. It's a short week for us. It's Friday Eve, Jeremy.
We've just got a couple days left, and I'm perfectly okay with that. We will have things going out on the YouTube channel over the course of the holiday break, and things will look markedly different when we come back.
Things have already kicked up in the YouTube comments. Pennywise says, "Die Eagles, die."
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. I'm not rooting for injuries here or anything. What I'm saying is I'm to the point now where I'm looking at the Philadelphia Eagles going, okay, now I see all the things that everybody saw.
I don't love saying this, but you remember when I tried to tell you that something looked off about this Philadelphia team? And you kept telling me, well, they're winning games and it doesn't really matter. Okay. And you were right. And I almost became resigned to the fact of this team wins ugly, and there is a merit to that. However, do you also remember when I said I could take over IBM and for a while you wouldn't notice the difference? Guess what? I noticed the difference. The difference is officially here. The offense is flat out bad. Mm-hmm. Just straight up bad.
Yep.
And the defense is worse. And now I have a much more, I'll say, overreaching take on what I saw last night. How many teams in the NFC are good? We know one is great. Mm-hmm. San Francisco is a great team. Mm-hmm. And I hope that didn't get lost yesterday in that I was saying I would take Baltimore over them. They're still a great team.
Yeah.
Who else is?
I mean,
not great. None of them are great.
None of them are great.
Are any of them good?
Dallas is good.
I don't know that you're right. They're good at home. They're good at home.
Yeah, they're not very
in
good
terms
on the road.
of, and here's what great to me is you can win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You can win multiple ways. You can do things your way. You can have things go awry. You can have a bad day, and you can still win. Good is you can win on your terms no matter where you're playing. There's not another good team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll level with you. Today we were going to do power rankings that were how good is your good. Well, I ran into a problem. And that is that the 3rd through the 12th best team in the NFL, their good is 3, their bad is 23. And I didn't know how to put that on paper.
Right.
I've never seen anything like this. The San Francisco 49ers right now, and you tell me if I'm wrong, they should be a 10-point favorite at home against every team in the NFC.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Short of injuries or an act of God, that's who's coming out of the NFC.
I said probably a month ago. I think a month ago was when I'd said that I feel like Philadelphia is that team, that they're just head and shoulders above everybody else in the NFC, and they should go into every game with at least a 3.5-point favor.
I never got there with Philadelphia, and maybe I was falling victim to the eye test.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I had told myself when this team started 10-1. The last 3 weeks, you've played a great team, a debatably good team, and a mediocre to bad team. They've beaten you 3 completely different ways.
Yes. In the last month, this entire ship has crashed. You've hit the iceberg. And I think the name of the iceberg is Nick Sirianni.
You answered my question before I asked it.
I think that's the name of the iceberg that you have run ashore upon, because I believed in the whole Philadelphia thing last year. We talked about in the offseason how big this was going to be, that both the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator are going to find head coaching jobs. And over the last month of the season, this thing has just fallen off the rails. You've got Nick Sirianni now changing defensive coordinators in the middle of the week. Right? He waited till what, Thursday?
Of which,
or
by
was
the
that
way,
Friday?
Of which, by the way, that went so well.
Yeah.
That defense looked so much better.
So he throws Sean Desai up in the booth, and Pat Matricia's down here going to call it on the field, because Sean's not really the go-get-em guy, right? He's the brains of the outfit.
Yeah, only guy ever that has a pencil in his hat and has a laminated play sheet. It's bothered me for years. Never been able to figure that out.
Well,
you can't write on laminate with a pencil. That's why that's confusing to me.
So we hand over the sideline operations to the go-getter guy. It didn't make much of a difference. It didn't make really any difference. You still have massive holes. The corners are letting you down. I mean, I looked at last night and went, yeah, on that last drive, oh, yeah, that's the defense's fault, right? James Bradbury probably should have had some better coverage on that last play. Whatever.
Why are you playing single high?
I have no idea.
You're playing a backup quarterback, and you're giving him island coverage with a single high safety.
Mm-hmm.
If you spent all day trying to explain to me why you would do that, I don't think you would ever get to a point where I went, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And we've criticized Brian Johnson all season long. First and early in the season, remember, it was, this is a college offense. It doesn't have the, you know what it takes to make it in the pros and blah, 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 blah. And then it started to evolve, and then it started to devolve, and now it's to a point where you can't do anything. You can't run the ball. You can't throw the ball.
You can run the ball. You just stop. You stop in the second quarter seemingly every week.
You're taking shots down the field with a quarterback who I don't know that he has that in him right now.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Jalen just looked lost on those 2 down-the-field throws that he made last night that got intercepted.
All right, so let me ask you, he got greedy. Yeah. That's what mediocre quarterbacks do, is they get greedy in situations like that. They see a matchup that they want, and then what actually develops in front of them doesn't matter.
Don't care.
I'm going to throw this ball, and I knew it before the ball ever touched my hands. I watched him do it twice. I don't care if you're Jalen Hurts' relative. You will never convince me that's not what happened.
And he's 5 yards short on both of them, and they both get picked off.
And Rich Vitale said he was sick. I get that. His brain wasn't sick. And his brain was the mistake that he made twice.
Well, I mean,
I do enjoy the Michael Jordan flu game picture that people are putting out on socials, and it's Michael in his Wizards uniform. That's been great. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to rank these. The current state of the Philadelphia Eagles, you blame on who in what order? Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, Brian Johnson, the defense. And the defense, I'll encompass Sean Desai and Pat Matricia and all of it. Just no one person, because none of you have been good enough.
No, and I'm trying to sort through the 4 stages here of blame, and I guess I got to start at the top with Nick. And then I would go Brian Johnson 2, Jalen Hurts a very close 3, and the defense would be a very close 4. It's all right there together.
I'm going 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Because that's the problem.
Yeah.
You don't have just a problem to fix.
No.
You have an offense that looks like it's being coordinated by somebody playing Madden. You have a quarterback that can't read through defenses. That's always been a problem. This is not new information. The thing is that you had somebody in Shane Steichen that was calling this that understood that. And so what he did was a masterful job of sculpting an offense, which, by the way, is Nick Sirianni's offense, that would deceive you with his eyes. You would start overplaying A.J. Brown, and I'll hit you over the top with Olamide Zaccheaus or whoever it is. It never really seemed to matter.
No.
It was Quez Watkins at times. It didn't matter. Now this has been laid directly in the lap of Nick Sirianni, and he's not a very good coach. He's always rubbed me the wrong way. And people have always accused me of being a hater of the Eagles because I've said this. Do I look like a hater now? Does it look like a hater now, or does this look like somebody that is so over their damn skis that it's pathetic? He has no idea where to turn. None. And you want me to tell you where I really started to realize this? It's when that stupid tush push showed up. Oh, look, we've got this play that turns it into everything's a 4th and 1 or everything's a 3rd and 1. Why does nobody else do this? Why does nobody else do this? And I love the narrative of, well, nobody else can.
Yeah.
Good teams don't want to, because I have this $200 million asset that I'm putting into ridiculous danger. I don't know if you saw the play last night where Bobby Wagner basically said, I'm over this. Worked out great because this is the one time they decided they were going to line up for that and run it to the outside. If Jalen Hurts had kept that ball, he might have gotten decapitated, because Bobby Wagner just went, woohoo, right over the top of the line, leading with the front of his helmet.
Yep.
Good teams don't do that. Good coaches don't do that. But it works. A lot of things work. You run a fake punt probably every game of your life, and it'll work 70% of the time. But what about that 30% of the time that doesn't work? And why does nobody else do that? You ever notice that Andy Reid never feels the urge to do that? You ever notice that Josh Allen, it works because he's a giant? It works. The Jalen Hurts thing, that's why it works with them. And Denver Donkeys just said it in our YouTube comments. It works until it doesn't. This is an imitation league. But have you noticed that the high-end quarterbacks, none of them do this? Pat Mahomes doesn't do it. Trevor Lawrence doesn't do it. Brock Purdy doesn't really do it. And every once in a while, they'll get up and run a sneak. But it's not, hey, I've got 2 guys pushing me from the back, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's never made a whole lot of sense. To anybody I know that does a lot of things around this league or has been in this league for a long time, it doesn't make sense. Oh, it works. What's the long-term effect? This is not a good coaching staff. Shane Steichen was a good offensive coordinator. Jonathan Gannon was a good defensive coordinator. Nick Sirianni hired really well one time. Sean Desai is so in over his skis, it is pathetic. Brian Johnson is even more over his skis. And the fact that you looked at Pat Matricia, who might be the worst head coach in the NFL in the last 10 years, and that's the guy that's going to fix this for you, that really told me everything I needed to know.
Yeah. It's not good for Philadelphia, because to me, you've not only lost a lot of the backing that you had, right? A lot of the faith that you had. But to me, the more or maybe not more troubling, but a troubling part of this is the erosion or the lack of institutional control. We use that a lot in college. We don't use that a lot in the pros because these guys are adults and they get to make their own decisions, blah, but you can't control a grown man. I get it. But it's something to me when every week we have something happening. We have A.J. Brown getting into it on the sidelines with opposing players.
A.J. Brown is so over this, it's pathetic.
It's been
You can
5
see it in
weeks.
his face.
It's been 5 weeks. 5 weeks, A.J. Brown, every game, looks like he is in the worst place on the planet. He doesn't want to be there. He is so sick and tired of this middling offense that you're throwing out here. I am one of the greatest weapons in the NFL, and you're not using me. I have a quarterback who can't get me the damn ball. And it's weird because what changed? Last year, this was a team that could not be stopped, right? We thought, or I did anyway, I thought this was foolproof. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl, had a, tough game, and c'est la vie, but they were in that game. They were good enough to win one last year. This team's not.
I want to address something that's going on the YouTube comments right
What's
now.
that?
Kelvin Joyner, and this is a good point, that those quarterbacks aren't shaped like fullbacks and squat over 600 pounds. Other centers also don't have the best center in a generation. Andrew Ayers, and to be fair, other teams can't do it as good as they are, or they would be doing it. I disagree with you. And let me tell you why I disagree with it. So I'm going to use that fullback analogy. How many 35-year-old fullbacks you ever seen? It doesn't tend to happen.
Yeah, like 2.
Yeah, you know why? Because the human body, no matter how big you are, how strong you are, what you can squat, you're not intended to do that. Let me ask you a question. Leading fullback rusher in the NFL this year, how many run snaps has he played? How many times has he touched the ball?
40.
Less.
32.
I'm going to do this until you get it. Less.
24.
Less.
12.
Less.
6.
8. 8 carries.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts ran this stupid tush push 7 times last night. Think about what I just said. NFL teams are looking at fullbacks going, I don't want to run my guy up the line like that any more than I have to. Kyle Juszczyk, best fullback in the league, 5 times. So he's done it all year. Now, I'll swing you out. I'll get you out in space, and you can lower that shoulder because it's one-on-one. In terms of me taking this big, gigantic person and running them into the line, I'm going to do that 8 times in an NFL season. Why? Because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it's going to wear you down. And weird, we're into week 15, and I understand he's sick. I get it. He's got the trots or whatever he's got. I don't really care. He's worn down every single week. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch the tape. Watch his throwing motion in week 1 and watch it right now. It ain't the same. It don't look the same. And there's a simple reason for that. If you put a quarterback through this ringer, they're not going to hold up. It's stupid. It's been stupid since the first time it was run. And I got news for you. If you got Andy Reid in a room and there was no camera and you couldn't repeat what he said, and you asked him, hey, why do you not do this with Pat Mahomes? I mean, he's not as big as Jalen Hurts, but why do you never run this? And his answer would be, I don't know, because I have an IQ above salad dressing. Because this is a $250 million asset that I don't want to run into 10 dudes that are coming at full speed knowing damn well what I'm doing. Do you see how stupid that sounds when I say it? And yet, well, it works. Okay, well, now you've got a quarterback that looks like somebody's been hitting him with a 2x4 since about September. If you don't think those two things have something to do with each other, I got a bridge to sell you.
And you're trapped because it does work. Because you have the 99% conversion rate on it, I feel like this team counts on it.
No doubt, because they can't do anything else.
Well, but I feel like the entire offense becomes, I guess, more simplified, more of that 3 yards in a cloud of dust mentality of it doesn't matter what we do every other play, because as long as we're getting 3 yards on first down, 3 yards on second down, 2 yards on third down, I'm going to go get what's left with the tush push.
And here's the problem. Kelvin Joyner beat me to the point. He said Jalen also doesn't have the same skill set as those other quarterbacks. Exactly. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm going to equate this to something, and once I say it, you'll never be able to unsee it. You ever play Madden?
Mm-hmm.
You ever played against people online?
Mm-hmm.
You ever find that guy that has one play that is damn near impossible for you to stop, and he just keeps running it over and over and over and over and over again?
Yeah.
What happens when you stop that play? They don't have anything
no
else
other thing, yeah.
because they've never done anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure out that one little honey hole play they have that's usually a glitch. I've got a few of them myself. Fade route in the slot. They've never fixed it. It works every time. Once you figure out that one play they know how to run, they're irrelevant. You'll just keep scoring, and you'll keep stopping them, and you'll keep doing it. And that's what I see with Philadelphia. Now at this point, Nick Sirianni's little gimmick play, that's cute. You have to get to 3rd and 1 to get to that point, or you're going to keep being behind the chains like you were last night, and then what happens? You have to put it on the arm of your quarterback, and your little tush-poosh doesn't work anymore, and now you need this mediocre thrower of the football to win games for you. And last night, he made 2 of the worst reads I've seen all year long from a quarterback. This is a $200+ million quarterback. Couldn't figure out too high man. Couldn't figure it out. Had no idea. I'm just going to chuck it up there and pray. And he did it twice. In the 2 most important parts of the game, he did it twice. That's not on Brian Johnson. That's not on Nick Sirianni. That's on Jalen Hurts. And that ball hits his hand, that's on you. He's not being put in a great situation, don't get me wrong. But this is a convergence of problems. And all right, let's say you fix one. Let's say you get Jalen right and you get back to him running the ball and he gets healthy. You still have Brian Johnson who's over his skis. You still have a defense that can't stop anybody. And you still have a head coach that I don't believe in. I believe in the U.S. government more than I believe in Nick Sirianni. It's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big old problem. And last night it was on full display.
Yep. And they will fall precipitously in the power rankings, which we'll get into coming up in just a little while.
It was telling to me. It was telling to me that Drew Lock, who looked like he was going to cry in his post-game little media hit with ESPN, he said, I was in the huddle and told JSN, if they're dumb enough to single high cover you, I'm giving you this pill.
Mm-hmm.
That's Drew Lock, who felt like the big goob in the locker room to go, if they're dumb enough to do this, I will happily take advantage of it. Think about what I just said. What do you think good teams are going to do? What do you think good quarterbacks are going to do? Oh, the same thing Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott did.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is CSPN Asheville.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
As the world keeps changing, so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn more about a COVID-19 vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville.
From our home to yours, we hope you have a happy holiday season and a very prosperous new year. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas from Ingles Markets, your neighborhood grocery store.
Hi folks, Randy Houston here, and you've heard me on the radio around here for a long time, and I hope you hear this loud and clear. From my house to yours, I hope it's a wonderful holiday season for you and your family.
Hey, I came as fast as I could. What's wrong?
Everything's okay. I just need you to know I'm glowing up.
You just texted SOS Get Here Now.
And I stand by that because I switched to Cricket and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm gonna go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricket and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must open a new line on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax to its sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Hurry in for Macy's last-minute gift sale now and take an extra 20% off gift ideas from designers they'll love when you use your coupon or Macy's card. Plus, spend your Macy's money in-store or online. No merchandise exclusions. Can't decide what to get? Give a gift card and let them pick the perfect gift. Find last-minute gifts that never feel last-minute right now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It's ESPN Asheville. You're in the Sportsocracy. And we'll get into the power rankings coming up after the bottom of the hour. We get just a bit outside. The NFC.
In the words of our buddy,
you started going down this path yesterday of the NFC is just terrible. And, I mean, I don't think you're right. I don't think they're terrible. Just when you compare them, the bad part is you got another conference over there with some good teams in it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like
some promising teams in it.
Well, that's kind of like saying the MAC doesn't absolutely just suck on ice until you watch the SEC.
Right.
Did you watch that bowl game yesterday? Did you ever walk away from that and go, hey, this is high-level D1 college football?
Oh, yeah. It made me go, I can't wait for the next famous Toastery Bowl.
Which is in the fourth biggest stadium in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
The famous Toastery Bowl. Had you ever heard of that before?
I don't know what a famous toastery is.
It's apparently like a chain brunch place.
I think it's what I'm going to be on New Year's Eve. Famous toastery. Yay, forget about it.
They've got 50 locations, quote unquote, up and down the East Coast. Would you like to know how many of those are outside of the Charlotte area?
Gonna go with 7, Bob.
Actually, I think you're about right. There's there's one in Blowing Rock. There's one in Boone. There's 2 up in Virginia somewhere and 2 down in the low country of South Carolina. And the rest of them are all right there in the Charlotte area.
I want to know what it costs to have a bowl game. Like, what did Famous Toastery pay? And how many Super Jets do we need over the course of the next 365 days to have the Sportsocracy Bowl next year that Tank and I can commentate? It's on some network that nobody pays attention to. Maybe we'll stream it on YouTube. And we can say falafel as many times as we want to. That, my friends, is my New Year's resolution.
Only
because I feel like the sponsorship of that bowl game cost about $8,000.
Only if we can hold the bowl game at Memorial Stadium downtown, at Asheville High School.
No.
That's about as much as we could fill up. I don't even think we could fill up Western.
Oh, we'll take the 8th team from the MAC and the last place team from the Sun Belt.
Yes.
And that'll be the Sportsocracy Bowl. I'm here for it.
Awesome. The public gets to choose.
No.
It's the battle of Ryan McGee's bottom 10.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Number 1 and number 2 face off in the Sportsocracy Bowl. Well, see, we're just workshopping things here. I'm going to have to call Ryan and see if we can make this happen.
No doubt. The Sportsocracy House of Reprehensible members North get in Carolina. Free. If you're a member of the house, you get free tickets for you and your whole family.
I don't see that. I don't see the point. I don't see how you make money off of that. I really don't.
Stephen Towle wants us to have our own flag football game every year.
Oh, that could be fun. We'd have to have that sponsored by Southeastern Sports Medicine.
Oh, no doubt.
Because there'd be massive injuries. The House of Reprehensibles. Whew. We'd be moving slower than Congress after that game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's several things I'm wanting to say here.
I'm barely more stable than Joe Biden as it is. So you put me on a sports field, I'm gonna hurt something.
You run into more things than any person I've ever seen.
I do.
That is the one place that I could look like prime Odell Beckham Jr. Just really, who's defending me? Oh yeah, I don't care. Hey y'all, watch this. Up. Just throw it up. I can jump one time. Not 100% sure I can land.
He's got that 6-inch vertical that just one time.
You know just as well as I do. I've got a way more of a vertical than you think.
Do you now?
Oh, yeah.
Do you at
Once.
this age?
Oh, now landing it, not great.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, because I'm fully envisioning the Tom Segura disaster.
No.
Jeremy tries to dunk a basketball.
I'm not
for the first
breaking
time
my bicep. That's not happening.
For the first time in 15 years and break something, like, gruesomely.
No.
Ooh.
I drank a lot of milk as a child. I don't break easily.
All right, good. Hopefully you got some. Steven Tao says some of us are still in shape. Well, okay, Mr. 6'9" beanpole.
Well, here's
maybe
the thing.
some of you are.
You lost
some
Tank.
of us are not.
I don't know what you put it at me for. I'm
You're
in considerably better shape than you are.
You're not in shape.
I didn't say I was in shape. I said I'm in considerably better shape than you are. Steven lost you at still in shape. Because to still be in shape, you had to be in it at a point.
No
and
doubt.
Tank has been in shape for most of his life.
Yes. It was just round.
Yeah. What was it Brian Haynes said to me the other day? He was about 3 biscuits short of being a full circle.
I was a big man.
Yeah.
I was a big man.
Yeah.
PhD weight loss and nutrition. That's a free one.
There you go.
There you go. MyPhDweightloss.com. Back into the conversation. Actually, we never got into the conversation here.
It's hard to get, kind of like that still thing. It's
yeah.
hard to get back into something that you never actually started in the first place.
True. It's true. I hope everybody has a fantastic holiday season. I'm going to throw that out there while we got this little lull in the action. We will talk, of course, about how much of a mess the NFC is moving forward in the power rankings. But for now, it's time to take a break. When we come back, we'll get just a bit outside, and then we'll tell you how to fix the absolute dog water teams in the NFL.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coldest day of the week will be today, modifying temperatures and getting well into the 50s as high pressure goes east-southeast of us later in the week. Good-looking day today, but a bit brisk or cold or whatever you want to call it. Lots of sunshine. Upper 30s, won't feel like it with a gusty northwest breeze. Tonight, we'll settle back to near 20. Yes, the colder spots will be in the teens. Wednesday, sunshine, 52. Thursday, sunny, 57. Friday, sunny, 56. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. As the world keeps changing, so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn more about a COVID-19 vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Sibel Hetherington, and I'm an insurance broker with Hummingbird. Insurance is complicated and can be extremely confusing. My role is to be a guide through the complexities of choosing a plan and an advocate for my clients after that process is completed. Working with Hummingbird gives me a unique opportunity to solve people's problems in a way that benefits them meaningfully.
Hummingbird Insurance. Visit hummingbirdins.com for a free consultation. Health insurance made easy.
What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about the perfect holiday gifts, just $25 and under, like matching family PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Anti-Semitism takes many forms, from a passing comment in casual conversation to vandalism and even violence. Shine a Light is a national initiative to spotlight anti-Semitism. A coalition of over 60 Jewish and non-Jewish organizations from across the U.S. and Canada, Shine a Light draws inspiration from Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, to encourage Jews and allies to speak out against anti-Semitism and send a message that one single light can dispel darkness. Join us at shinealighton.com.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in Western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations, donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in Western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Market, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy live from the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville. And John Brady back in the news. He's weighing in on the suspension of Damontae Kazee. So Damontae Kazee has the hit on Michael Pittman Jr. in the Pittsburgh-Indianapolis game on Saturday. Second quarter, if you didn't see it, it's brutal. Michael Pittman's laying out for a ball, and Damontae Kazee, the safety, comes in and crumples him backwards. Real bad. It was the 6th time this year that he's had an unnecessary roughness penalty against him, and the league has now suspended him for the rest of the season. So 3-game suspension for Damontae Kazee because of that hit and repeated offenses. Tom Brady, though, came to the defense of Damontae Kazee, saying that this is Gardner Minshew's fault. And he's not wrong, because, he's Tom Brady. He's the smartest quarterback that ever played the game. He knows what he's talking about. But he does have a point.
No doubt.
That quarterbacks have got to learn to stop putting their receivers in these positions, throwing the ball in a position where they have to lay out for it or not be able to protect themselves as they're coming across the formation or whatever.
He's got a great point. You can't legislate bad quarterback play.
He does.
Anybody that watches football with me on a Sunday will attest. I 3 or 4 times a week will say that's one of those plays where the receiver comes back and goes, hey, you throw me another one of those, and I'm going to kill you.
Yep.
Because you might get me killed if I don't alligator arms this.
Mm-hmm.
If I touch that ball, they're going to annihilate me.
He said, quote, on social media, quarterbacks should not be throwing the ball in areas where they are exposing their own teammates to these types of hits. Coaches need to coach better. Quarterbacks need to read coverages and throw the ball to the right places, and defenders should aim for the right hitting areas. To put the blame on the defensive player all the time is just flat out wrong. We need better quarterback play. It's not okay, quarterbacks, to get your wide receivers hit because of your bad decisions. Obviously, that got echoed by a lot of defensive greats, namely J.J. Watt, among them of, preach it. And I agree. The quarterback play does need to improve. Quarterbacks have to have that in mind of, where am I throwing this ball? Is it going to put my guy in danger? Because the wide receiver is, you're programmed. Wherever the ball's going, you go get that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Should it be on the receiver to go, nah, I'm not going to lay out for that one? Do you have to make those decisions?
Denver Donkeys actually said it in our YouTube chat. Everyone playing offense forget what a hospital pass is. It's one of those where you just go, nope. There it goes.
Just watch it go.
I don't believe I'll be doing that.
Yep.
I like my ribs, and I like all my innards being exactly where they are. And I don't want my spleen in my liver to trade places.
Brady, this is just this is about the 8th time this season that he has come out criticizing the play, which, of course, I feel like is setting up his return to the mainstream.
As a commentator?
As a commentator next year when he joins Fox.
I don't think you ever see it. And I've thought that for a pretty extended period of time.
Why?
I can't picture it. I cannot picture him as a commentator. I can't see him going through that grind.
I believe that $300 million kicks in next year.
Fine. Do you know how much money Tom Brady has? I mean, yes, I understand it's a lot of money. I don't believe the money is going to sway him. I keep watching Greg Olsen ending up in these mediocre NFC games, Packers, Buccaneers. For some reason, I can't see Tom Brady signing up for that. Yeah, I'm going to spend a weekend in Green Bay, Wisconsin, when it's 7 degrees to watch Baker Mayfield and Jordan Love. My outside story, it has begun. We told you this was coming, and DJ Moore is step 1 of an ultimate 3-step process. He was asked by reporters yesterday about Justin Fields' future in Chicago. And his answer was, where are y'all seeing this? Like, what makes him not the quarterback for the Chicago Bears right now? I get y'all have everybody coming out. What's there, like 2 of them? I don't think they're better than Justin. To which every Chicago Bear fan should have immediately gone, damn the devil to hell! Oh, shoot! Justin Fields just sitting back going, yeah! Who's the man? Let me talk to you! Uh-huh. It's happening. I'm telling you, it's happening. It's coming. This Chicago Bear team is going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. They'll take, I would assume, an offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
It'd have to be.
Could go pass rusher, too, on the opposite end of Montez Sweat if you fell in love with a corner. Trust me, they got plenty of places that you could put a player.
I was going to say, Montez Sweat and
Latu.
Yeah, or Turner on the other side.
I'm not as high on Turner as everybody else is. I'm in like, I'm not in love. It's going to happen, and we're going to do this again, and the Chicago Bears will be next year's victim after you were this year's victim of who wants to overpay a mediocre quarterback.
And why would that be? Why do they find themselves in this position?
Because you can't just tap out because you took him in the first round.
Because you're a loser franchise.
Oh, I didn't know where you were headed.
There we go. Loser franchise. No, I mean, that's what the Chicago Bears will do. You see a little glimmer of hope and all in. Just like Tampa Bay, Baker's showing. Oh God, they're now the fan groups are now circulating the rankings. Have you peeped the latest quarterback rankings for the 2023 season? Baker Mayfield's up to 11. Proves he needs to be the franchise quarterback. Please, dear God, this worked for Jeremy once. Can I, please, dear God, can you find something else to do with Baker Mayfield?
Nope.
Please.
You used all those up on the Super Bowls. They're tons of fun. Yeah. See, the big guy he'll give me a shekel every now and then because I haven't taken up too much of his time with a Super Bowl run. There you go. Smoking Hot Wife sports show, Tank's misery. That's all I ever asked for.
I need him to do something else.
Well,
go wax surfboards or go join the Trump administration. I don't care what you do. Get the hell out of here.
That was a weird 2 there.
What? Well, I mean, by the time it's over, by the time he makes the decision, and I'm stuck with him, and I'm trying to cope. Okay, It's right. It's the holiday season, and that's what the holiday season's all about. Just kind of coping with the sad realities of your life.
You survived yesterday. I think that's enough of God giving you some grace. Your key still worked when you got here this morning, and that was your favor for 2023.
Invincible. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Names on the door. I can say a lot of things that a lot of people can't say.
Indeed. It is time to get into the Week 16 power rankings. Starting from the bottom, number 32. And by the way, in all of this, Jeremy's going to give you the way to fix 3 steps to fix every one of these.
Oh, I'm not telling you he's going to fix it.
Awful
I'm
teams.
saying these are the 3 things that if I were put in charge that I would do
to try to fix
to attempt to fix
there
it.
You go. All right, so at number 32, it's your favorite, it's my favorite, it's everybody's favorite.
The Carolina Panthers.
Carolina Panthers. Wow. You had more people show up to the famous Toastery Bowl at Jerry Richardson Stadium than you had show up to the Falcons game at, well, that other Jerry Richardson Stadium over the weekend.
Well, it's not named for him. It's
No, I mean Bank of America, but we all know who built it. We all know. How would you attempt this?
Well, Carolina might be the most difficult team in the NFL because, well, you don't have that thing that you want, which is a number one overall pick. Here's the other part of this that nobody talks about. You're only in the middle of the NFL in cap space. You're also going to have to overpay for practically anybody. So for me, Carolina's a three-step process. You call Ben Johnson. You get David Tepper to take a blank check out of his personal account. You slide it across the table and you say, Ben, in the words of the great poet, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, everybody's got a price. You tell me what that is. Because I don't care.
Right.
I need an actual offensive guy, not Frank Reich, not – no. My second step would be to franchise Brian Burns, not necessarily because I think that is going to help you all that much, but because he is one of the few assets you have and you cannot lose him for nothing. And then 3 would be to kick Ike Mekwano into guard. And I will pursue a left tackle above all else.
Okay. All right, so Ben Johnson is the
Look,
home run.
and I'm going to be honest with you. Receivers, you're not going to hear receiver be the big fix for a lot of people. There are so many of them in this class. You could draft 3 on the 3rd day and potentially hit 2 starters. That's how good this receiver class is. So for me, I'm going to pursue what's harder to find. There are not a ton of left tackles in this class. I'm going to take a stab at a guy like Tyler Guyton, who I don't necessarily love the tape on, but he's going to be there. Kingsley from BYU, your guy Marius Mims, who, well, he can't stay healthy.
Will he still be available in the second round?
It depends. The medical's going to be huge on him. Because he played 5 games all year?
Something like that.
The good's good.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, he's an earth mover. There's no doubt. All right. Number 31.
You would think, hey, it's a team. They've been playing a little spunkier. They're still terrible. The New England Patriots. Number 1, first and foremost, is Bill. Bill has got to go.
Yes.
All right, so no bringing in a personnel guy. I mean, look, Bill can still coach. This message has gone aggressively stale. The question is, what do you do? Where do you turn in terms of as a head coach? And I've heard a lot of names. I've heard Jim Harbaugh. I don't know why any of these guys would take this job. I'm going to call Mike Kafka of the New York Giants. And I know that sounds weird because that offense hasn't been particularly good this year. I love him. I always have. And I think you could put a really good staff around him and just treat it as a 3-year play. Your line's not great. Your defense is getting older. You don't have a ton of young players. I'm going to go get Mike Kafka. I'm going to draft Drake May. And I'm going to throw stupid money at a receiver. Which one? I don't care. It doesn't particularly matter to me. The free agent crop is not great. I mean, T. Higgins is the one that stands out. That's who I would like it to be. And New England's 3rd in the NFL in cap space, so I've got the money to make a run at somebody like this. I don't know that he's going to take it from you. Michael Pittman is the one that I had circled here. I don't think Indianapolis views him as a true one. I don't know why, but it
Probably
doesn't.
because I keep saying it, or I did early in the season.
Let's say, just because you keep saying it doesn't mean it's true. As a matter of fact, it's patently false.
I'm just saying maybe I'm poisoning your mind here.
But there's a possibility that a few really high-end receivers hit the market. And if I'm New England, look, I get it. You're going to have to trust in a new system. You're going to have to trust in a rookie quarterback. You're going to have to trust in a franchise that has not been very good for the last handful of years. I get it. If you're $10 million on the open market, I'm paying $12. If you're T. Higgins, and you probably would get, I would say he's going to be in the neighborhood of $22 million, even with the bad year this year. I'll pay you $25. Mm-hmm. I'll give you 4 years, $100 million, $60 million guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Come be my number one. I got to have a guy because then Devontae Parker can push to the 2. I think you hit on Pop Douglas with the 3. I've got a couple tight ends that can play. All right, now we're getting closer. Ramondre Stevenson's got good hands too. Now I got to work on the line. I got to have a competent offense. You currently don't have that. Mm-hmm. Bailey Zapp showed you can be competitive if you have a competent offense.
The only flaw I wonder about in that scenario is having the first-time head coach.
Okay, so name me who the veteran coach is.
I don't know. I don't have a great solution for that. I'm just wondering what Kraft's mindset's going to be. Do I want to?
I think you have to get completely away from Belichick. The Gerard Mayo thing, okay, that's a defensive head coach, and you know exactly what I'm getting ready to say. Mm-hmm. Your defense ain't the problem. The problem is that offensively, you are stuck in 1994, so I need somebody that's innovative, and Ben Johnson would laugh you out of the room.
Yes.
I think the highest of high-end guys. If you want it to be Eric Bieniemy, if that makes you feel better, more power to you. I'm a little scared what I've seen him do with another Carolina quarterback, and I believe Kafka is going to be a phenomenal coach in this league. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's this year, but that's the one I'm calling.
Okay. All right.
I know I'm not getting my pick of the litter.
Yeah. Number 30.
This is going to catch some people off guard, but with where this team sits, this is exactly where I think they fit. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Whew, that is a low ranking for a team that is, theoretically still in the hunt here, but that team is so god-awful.
I almost had them at 31 because they lost to New England.
Yeah.
This team's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. And for me, this is not a 3-step process with Pittsburgh. Go get a quarterback. Who's that going to be? Could be a slew of guys. Number 1 on my wish list, Kirk Cousins. He tells me no. Now we're going to have to go down the rabbit hole a bit because there aren't that many out there, but I don't want to draft one.
Mm-hmm.
You missed on Kenny Pickett, period. I don't think even the most rose-colored glasses Pittsburgh Steelers fan can tell you that there is anything there that really should give you any form of hope. I mean, is he better than Mitch Trubisky? Yes.
Yes.
So are 80 other quarterbacks in this league. And Mason Rudolph is right there with him. I don't think any of these guys can be the solution.
No.
But just in your own head, put Kirk Cousins in Pittsburgh and tell me how good that team is all of a sudden.
Very good.
Because the defense is fine. Mm-hmm. The offensive line would be fine if I was in any way scared of your quarterback. But when you watch Pittsburgh, it is super obvious that teams are not scared of Kenny Pickett.
No.
Because they will send hellhounds unlike anything I have really seen in a long time.
They're not scared of Kenny. They're not scared of Mitch. And they're definitely not scared of Mason Rudolph. And this is why your team ends up here. And, the record may look good, and, you are what your record says you are. No, this is one of those scenarios where I vehemently disagree with Bill Parcells when he would say that.
Pittsburgh is the worst 7-win team in the history of the NFL, and it's not close.
No doubt.
And they will not win another game.
No, you'll get dump trucked in the next 3 games.
Justin, I believe it's Gudgel. Please let me know in the YouTube comments if I said that correctly. He said, Colts fan here, I'd be floored if the Colts don't pay Pittman. Ballard loves him. I think they should. I've heard a couple things that are weird, that they don't necessarily think he's going to be worth what he's going to command. I'm not so sure that's accurate either, because I don't think the receiver market's going to be as robust as people think. I mean, I've already said this. I have 17 guys that have day 1 or day 2 grades, and I don't have 100 day 1 or day 2 grades. Mm-hmm. That should tell you how good this is. So I don't think he will get the money he expects. I'm not sure they don't call his bluff and just say, hit the market. Here's our offer. That's what it is.
Yep.
And it's going to be more than anybody else will get.
What was on the market? Or what is his market, do you think?
What would he command?
Is it 20?
No, God,
something?
No.
Really?
I'm not 100% sure T. Higgins is going to command $20 million.
Oh, okay.
I just don't have to. I have 3 elite receiver prospects in this draft that I get to control monetarily for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Pittman's somewhere between 12 and 15. I would say the offer will be 12. He will want 15, and then somewhere in the middle they'll meet. I would say it's probably 3 years, $42 million.
I'd jump on that in a heartbeat.
If I was Indianapolis?
If I was anybody.
To
me, that's a value.
But you have to, all right, so ask yourself this question. Keon Coleman right now, I can't get inside the top 15. Which would I rather do? Would I rather pay Keon Coleman very little money for 5 years or pay $14 million to Michael Pittman?
And if I can get there, then sure.
Well, practically every team in the league's got a shot.
Either or. I need him and Pittman. I need
I don't disagree.
If he was in my clutches, I would not let him go.
I don't disagree.
I would not let him go.
Look, you're late to the Michael Pittman party. I've been on him since the minute I first saw him at USC. So you're getting no disagreement out of me.
Right. And I liked him as a prospect and all. I just never thought he was a one. And then this year, I feel like he's kind of proven that.
No doubt.
He's kind of proven that
with both quarterbacks.
Yes,
it's worked for both.
He's very good, and he's going to be great with Anthony Richardson. I have no doubt about it.
We got one more team before we have to take the top of the hour break.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we're just rolling
along. Look, we just get so caught up in trying to fix people. I'm
a fixer. I care about people.
Number 29,
the Washington Commanders. Yours is actually not as hard as people think.
Number 1's fire Ron Rivera.
I thought that was implied.
Okay, all right.
I'm not so sure he's not already been fired.
I think he has. Didn't I see that story that they've decided that he's going to be gone at the end of the season?
So I actually didn't have that in my list.
Okay.
If I am Washington, I would do the same thing with Carolina. I'm going to back up the Brinks truck to Ben Johnson. I'm going to bring in the veteran DC, and I'm sticking with Sam Howell. I will take the best offensive lineman that falls to me. Joe Alt is my 1. It is 100% clear. Fashanu is my 2. J.C. Latham is probably my 3. I don't want to take the last of those at 5. I will if I have to. This line is a huge problem. This defense is a problem. I got multiple day 2 picks. My little bonus for Washington, if any high-end defensive players are allowed to hit this market, I'm looking at Chris Jones. I'm looking at Josh Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Brian Burns of the Panthers, Christian Wilkins, Justin Madubuike, Antoine Winfield. I don't care who it is. I'm backing a Brinks truck up because I can't play 11 rookies on the defensive side. I've got to have somebody that I can put this defense around. And I'm not so sure Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen don't both want out at this point. So if I can get more capital for them and it not kill me, I haven't looked at the contracts. I don't know. I'm going to have to rearrange some furniture here. I need a pass rusher really badly. I would be calling Carolina saying, hey, there's more than one way to skin a cat, my friend. We have 2 second-round picks. We have 2 third-round picks. And Brian Burns would be real pretty here in Washington. I know you didn't want to pay Montez Sweat. He's gone to Chicago and been really good. You got to have a pass rusher of some kind, but that offensive line has to be addressed first. Good thing for you is that you've got 2, I think, future all-pro offensive tackles that are in this class, and you're going to be in prime position to take one, if not both of them.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Week 16 NFL Power Rankings.
Before we hit the break, Stephen Towle said, how many teams' first answer is to pay Ben Johnson? Just the 2, okay? It's just Carolina. It's just Washington. Won't be brought up again. Promise.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the Power Rankings at number 28.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
'Twas the day before Christmas, and at the North Pole, the elves were all gleeful, mind, body, and soul. From making to baking, content as you please, when off in the distance they heard a loud sneeze.
Hello, I'm in need of normal human cold medicine.
One last stop to top off the tank, and Santa's a go, with Ingalls to thank. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
What kind of a holiday gift giver are you? The stop at the corner store on the way to the party kind? Or the thoughtful hunt for the perfect holiday gift kind? Well, if you're the thoughtful one, we've got the perfect gift. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear that are so comfortable and so easy, everyone in your family will adore them. Because with Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down to the ground, and you never have to touch your shoes. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hear that? That's the sound of new digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Now you can play right from your phone and win real cash prizes. It may all sound new, but winning, oh yeah, big money, is as thrilling as ever. Register to play digital instants for a whole new way to win. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coldest day of the week will be today, modifying temperatures and getting well into the 50s as high pressure goes east-southeast of us later in the week. Good-looking day today, but a bit brisk or cold or whatever you want to call it. Lots of sunshine. Upper 30s, won't feel like it with a gusty northwest breeze. Tonight, we'll settle back to near 20. Yes, the colder spots will be in the teens. Wednesday, sunshine, 52. Thursday, sunny, 57. Friday, sunny, 56. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
At Ingalls Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
People who come to cricket stay with cricket. Just like our customer, Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
The free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays. Open the app and click on the holiday banner or search iHeart Holiday and start listening to your local holiday station. Plus stations playing all kinds of holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, R&B, tons of playlists, even podcasts. Yay! Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack. Join the millions of listeners on the iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. And we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel. And that way you can join us in the chat. Get your thoughts in on this Power Rankings Tuesday. Week 16 is already upon us. Feels like the season just started mere few weeks ago. And now we're in the home stretch. There's a lot of teams that are out of it, and that's not good for your team if they're in this group. Carolina Panthers, New England Patriots, Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington Commanders. That's your bottom 4 for week 16.
And trust me, you'll keep seeing the Steelers' name in the hunt. They're not.
Yeah, that team.
Technically, the Los Angeles Chargers are still in the hunt too, but it would take 100 small acts of God.
I feel like the only sentence you need to say in defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers being down here is you just benched Mitch Trubisky for Mason Rudolph. I don't need to explain anymore. Let's continue with the power rankings here. 3 steps that Flostradamus would take to try to fix the problems with all of these teams. It's going to get easier as we go ahead, maybe. I feel like this one may not be too hard. Number 28.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Despite the fact that they're ranked here, I feel generally okay with where they're at the moment.
Arizona has a lot of reason to be encouraged.
Yeah.
Because Arizona's doing exactly what it is that you're supposed to do. Hey, we're not good. Hey, we have 2 first-round picks. Sweet. They're figuring out the pieces that are going to be long-term pieces. And that's what they've used this year to do.
Right. Kyler Murray coming back into play here. There were a lot of questions, but I feel like nobody's considering that anymore. Nobody's considering moving on from Kyler anymore.
No, and I don't think you should. Frankly, I don't know that any of these quarterback prospects are better than him.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this. I don't love Caleb Williams. I think he has the emotional maturity of an 8-year-old. Drake May, the good is really good. The bad terrifies me. I'm not sure that Jaden Daniels doesn't end up as my number 1 quarterback by the time we get to the end.
Mm-hmm.
He's not there yet, but it's getting he is closing in on the field quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I am officially to the point I do not see him falling out of the top 10 under any circumstances. If I'm Arizona, the biggest thing I've got to do is find a couple playmakers on the defense. I need to find a veteran playmaker for the secondary. Yes, Budda Baker is fine as a safety. I think your safeties are fine. Your corners are horror awful. I need a vet, and I don't really care if it's Jalen Johnson. I don't care which one it is. Losing, his name just went right. Byron Murphy has been much more of a disaster than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
L'Jarius Sneed, I would overpay. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a long-term deal. I'm gonna front load it because I'm gonna draft really, really well. If Arizona, if they're not putting all their time, money, and resources into the draft, they're doing it wrong. I think they are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the next step for me. If Marvin Harrison Jr. is not there at 3, which is where they would currently be picking, I'll take Malik Neighbors at 3. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm getting a number 1 receiver out of this class, period.
Is the value there to do that, though?
Yes. Malik Neighbors is a top 6 prospect for me.
Okay.
He's real, real good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like he gets the kind of love. He would be the number 1 receiver in almost every class I've ever evaluated. He's just behind the best receiver I've ever evaluated, which that pushes him down a little bit. But if that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. I need a playmaker of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that 17th pick, I'm going to take the best defensive player on the board. I'm going to make a splash in free agency. I think they've got $60 million going into free agency this year. And they're another team. Look, you're not good. You're not good. You're not in a great state tax-wise. You're not catching any of those advantages, so you're going to have to overpay somebody. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I do not care. Rearrange the furniture. Come up with the money. Go get a playmaker.
Yep. Number 27.
The New York Football Giants. This is probably the most difficult team in the league.
Well, because you're stuck with a $40 million quarterback next year, who's not good. To me, that's the biggest problem any team has. And I can't wait till my team has that problem.
Oh yeah, you're next in line. Daniel Jones is going to be on this team next year.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to be the only quarterback on this roster.
No.
If it were me, if it were me making this call. I'm keeping the coaching staff as much intact as I can. I'm not sure that the Wink Daboll thing has been weird and it's been clunky, and I'm not sure that it can be salvaged no matter what they do in front of cameras.
Mm-hmm.
If I can save Wink, I'm going to. If not, I'll make a run at Patrick Graham if he's not back in Las Vegas, because that didn't end as badly as people think it did, and he liked it in New York. So you have pieces on the defense. They just have to mature.
Mm-hmm.
Kayvon Thibodeau, nobody's talking about this. He's had a great year. So my step one is retain the coaching staff, because I don't think you'll do better than Brian Daboll, no matter how bad this year has been. My second step is I'm going to draft Jaden Daniels, because that's the quarterback that I believe needs a year to sit behind a quarterback. I don't think Daniel Jones would make it through the year. So somewhere around week 8, week 9, he's going to come in, and now you can really turn it over, and next year you can let Daniel Jones go. I'm going to call him every name except Daniel in the segment. And then you can move on from it. The problem is that I don't think you can sit Drake May behind him. I don't think you can sit Caleb Williams behind him. You can sit Jaden Daniels behind him.
Yes.
Because that's he's coming out of a different offense, and I think he needs a little bit of time. Has the highest ceiling to me.
Yeah. You can sit him behind him for 4 games. That would be my line. You got four shots here, Daniel. And the first time you screw up, we all know how that's going to go. They will be raining boos down on him, wanting to have that quarterback, Jaden Daniels or whoever it's going to be, come in and fill in immediately.
The other thing I'm going to do is move on from Darren Waller.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I don't even want you on the roster because I can't trust you. You're never healthy, ever. And so I will look to add another receiver down the line. I don't think the Giants' receivers are as bad as everybody else does. You know how I feel about Wan'Dale Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting Sterling Shepard is even on this team because I think Brian Daboll does the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Darius Slayton.
I like Darius Slayton. You just have a bunch of dudes. You don't have one.
See, that's the problem, is you have a collection of a whole bunch of dudes that I feel like would be the good slot receiver.
No doubt.
You
have a lot of guys that would be a legit 3.
Yes.
You don't have anybody that's a legit 1, and you keep counting on this year. I feel like you've counted on Darren Waller to be that guy playing as a tight end that's not necessarily an inline tight end. He's just never healthy.
But he's been hurt for 10 weeks.
And it's taken this offense into – there's been 6 iterations of this, and 5 of them have been awful.
Mm-hmm.
So this draft is too deep in pass catchers. I'm not riding that ride again. The draft pick is a spent cause.
Yep.
Go be somebody else's headache.
All right, number 26.
The Los Angeles Chargers.
Well, you've already started by cleaning the front office and the head coaching position.
Yes.
So what's next?
I am going to back a Brinks truck up to Jim Harbaugh and make him tell me no.
Yes.
You're going to have to say no to life-altering money and personnel control because I'm going to give you both.
Absolutely.
You're going to have it. There will be a GM that reports to me. If I'm Dean Spanos, he will report to me. You will report to me. And you can pick who it is. I need a check and balance, and I need it to be somebody you can work with for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be Trent Baalke.
No. You don't have to worry about it being Trent Baalke.
Right.
I'm going to move on from Austin Eckler.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he hurts you more than he helps you because he is such a talent that you feel the urge to continuously give him touches. He's really nothing more than what we always thought he was, which is kind of a gadget player.
Mm-hmm.
I need a thumper. Justin Herbert's too good. I don't love being pot committed to Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Quentin Johnston, but here you are. There's really nothing you can do about that. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of the weight off of them, and I'm going to go get Brock Bowers. Because tight end is the position with the Chargers that has been a revolving door of mediocrity. It is shocking when you go back over the last handful of years and look at just a mediocre game from a tight end. And I think it was 4 catches, 55 yards, and half a touchdown. Anytime that they have hit 2 of those 3 things and gone over that with one individual player playing tight end, their winning percentage is like 780 or something dumb like that.
Mm-hmm.
It just hasn't happened enough. So I'm going to go get a prodigious talent, take some of the weight off of the other guys that I have. And whether it's Isaiah Spiller, I don't care who the running back is. Defensively, I got the players. I just got to have somebody that can coordinate it. I don't think that defense is as broke as it's shown. You just need somebody that's better than a D3 coordinator that's actually running the defense. So whoever Harbaugh wants, you tell him to go get him.
Yeah.
Here's a check. You just tell the guy whatever makes him feel pretty. That's the number that I'm going to put on this check. He can go put it in his bank account and come fix this god-awful defense.
Mm-hmm.
I love so many players on that side of the ball for it to have been this bad.
Rob Saleh.
Wouldn't hate it. Him and Jim Harbaugh. Whoa. You talk about there's finna be a fist fight.
I was going to say, you talk about 53 dudes ready to run through a brick wall. Put those two guys those two motivators in the same locker room and see what happens.
Weird. Who did you just say?
Rob Saleh.
Who does he coach now? Oh, number 25.
Yes.
The New York Football Jets.
What are you going to do there, buddy boy?
I'm cleaning house.
Oh, you're doing it.
I'm cleaning house. Joe Douglas, Rob Saleh, Nathaniel Hackett. And I'll go to Aaron Rodgers and go, you can get on board or you can get out. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. You're here for 1 year, 2 years. I got to make decisions going forward. I have on good authority that Robert Saleh has completely lost his locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson, at least according to his mother, which trust the source as much as you want, it's totally up to you, that he was concussed early in that game, and that's why he looked so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I find that to be a really convenient excuse. I don't necessarily think that's what it is. I think Aaron Rodgers would get on board. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a thing of, well, you got to keep Hackett on as a consultant. Okay, he ain't the one calling the plays.
Mm-hmm.
We can leave his playbook in. I don't care. There are plenty of people that can run that. It can't be him because he is too stupid to understand the most basic tenets of 2023 NFL offense. I cannot sell this with the fan base. You're coming off an Achilles. It is an untenable situation in New York. Stephen Tao asked why Joe Douglas, because the fan base has turned on him. It's also Joe Douglas that's supposed to be the O-line guru, and your offensive line is an atrocity. Now, you've had ridiculous number of injuries. Elijah Vera Tucker's been hurt playing out of position 2 years in a row. I think he'll be back next year playing guard. You basically get a clean slate. My first-round pick is going to be one of those offensive linemen. I think Ola Fashanu will fall right in your lap at 6 is where they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody loves him as much as I do. I love him. He's not Joe Alt, because Joe Alt's he's my 2. So,
Overall?
Yes.
Okay.
He's behind MHJ in the message, repeat the line.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think you're going to get to him. You've won too many games. Now, hey, if you lose to Washington this week, might be in good shape, which means let's go back to old Trevor Siemens. I think that would be fun. Let's do that. Old Zachy boy's head hurts, so let's do that. If he gets hurt, we go to old Brett Rippon.
Just lose, baby.
Just suck something awful.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And the other thing is, if I can get Aaron on board, I will trade my 2025 first-round pick for Devontae Adams.
Yes.
I don't want to have to do that, and I expect draft pick compensation back. What they're going to eat is going to be untenable, and somebody pointed that out to me. I'll look in the break to see if I can figure out who messaged that to me of how ugly it would be for the Raiders to get out of that. They're not going to give him up for what I originally said. So I would be willing to come off that 25-1, getting back. I would like to get back a second in this class. I don't think I'm going to do that.
No.
I would say it's probably more likely it would be a 3 with some other mid-tier things. That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine. I need that 1. Garrett Wilson is my 2. I got the left tackle. If I re-sign Mekhi Becton, which is highly unlikely, I'll move him over to the right side. Now I feel like the line at least has pieces because between Tippmann, the rookie, and Elijah Vera Tucker, I think I've hit 3 of the 5. I got to hit on a guard at some point because Lagan Tomlinson should be gone. The defense, I don't have to do anything. That defense is ready-made. I just have to have an offense that is competent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with those things, I'm a Super Bowl contender next year. And you can call me delusional all you want to.
No, you throw Aaron Rodgers.
That's a really good team.
You throw Aaron Rodgers into this and hopefully a healthy season, And you're not out of your mind for thinking that this team will be in Super Bowl contention. If you put an all-time great quarterback with the Cleveland Browns right now, how do you feel about them? How much more better do you feel about Cleveland if they had an Aaron Rodgers or a Matthew Stafford or some good veteran quarterback? That would be a no-doubt Super Bowl team and would be higher than they are right now on our power rankings.
But I do think the first step is that you have to go to Aaron and go, look, this is happening whether you like it or not.
Yes, I would agree.
You have no option. Minnesota's not an option. Delusional fans that keep telling me, oh, he's going to play Minnesota too. $60 million. That's what that would cost. Not fitting to happen. Not any chance on this planet.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. That is the bottom 8 of the Week 16 power rankings. When we come back from the break, we're going to run through a couple of divisions in the NFC.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Don't miss out on new deals every day at Lowe's. Get up to 30% off plus save an extra $750 on select major appliances. Valid through 12/20. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? You know, the gift that people call the hottest of the season? You know, you buy it for your loved ones, and you're anointed the hero of the holidays. Well, heroes, here's this year's hot present tip. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because Skechers has invented footwear that is so easy and so comfortable, they're the perfect gift for everyone, from kids to grandparents. With hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. You don't need to bend down. You don't ever have to touch your shoes. Find hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Hurry in for Macy's last-minute gift sale now and take an extra 20% off gift ideas from designers they'll love when you use your coupon or Macy's card. Plus, spend your Macy's money in-store or online. No merchandise exclusions. Can't decide what to get? Give a gift card and let them pick the perfect gift. Find last-minute gifts that never feel last-minute right now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. One of these days, we keep threatening we're going to let people in on what we talk about during the commercial breaks. It gets weird. It gets weird in here sometimes.
Just stay tuned through the new year.
That's right. That's
told you it's going to look different.
All right. Next bracket here of the power rankings, Week 16 in the NFL. We're up to number 24, and it is
the Tennessee Titans. I feel like you're off to a good start.
I was going to say.
The defense has players.
Yes, definitives for this team. You've got the coach.
Yes.
You've got the quarterback.
Yes.
You've got the defense.
Still need pieces on the defense.
You've got good pieces.
You have good pieces on the defense. You need a true number one. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins will be back. He might, because I don't know that he's going to have the kind of options. He could run into the same thing as last year of the contenders are willing to pay him $4 million. Not sure he's going to sign up for that. So maybe he comes back. I don't know. I'm taking whichever receiver falls in my lap in the draft. And they're not if I remember correctly, Tennessee's got a bit of cap space. They're not on the high side from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I navigated away from that spot. Oh, I'm wrong. They're 2. So I'm going to build that line with veterans. You ever say something and the second it comes out of your mouth, you go, no, that's not right. No, I'm wrong there.
A lot. You worked with me too long to know
it would
the
help
answer
if
to that question.
It would help if I looked at the page where, I put all of these things that I would do to fix teams that are already eliminated. Yeah, I'm going to go vets with the line because, look, Will Levis needs time.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've got something in Chig Okonkwo. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think he's a piece. You need a real legitimate number one, and Rome Odunze is the other one.
Yes.
I don't think Malik Neighbors I know MHJ doesn't make it to you. I don't think Neighbors does either. But Odunze would be formidable.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't separate. Yeah, allegedly neither could DeAndre Hopkins. He did just fine.
He did just fine.
And keeping Mike Vrabel. Don't push the urge to I hear that. Don't do that. It's a horrible idea.
Do not upset the apple cart. I get you want to chase wins. You want that number in the win column to be bigger, but
you don't have the pieces right now to do that.
But this is not Mike Vrabel's fault. Right?
No.
You can look at every coaching situation of bad teams in the NFL and go, this is Todd Bowles, this is Nick Sirianni, I don't see how you get to this is Mike Vrabel's fault.
I don't either. Tyler Presley, he has a great comment here. It'd be nice if they had a guy like A.J. Brown.
It would be.
I see what you did there.
It'd be wonderful.
I see what you did there. You remember when you didn't want to pay him? You ought to have paid him because he's good at football.
Mm-hmm. But we got Treylon Burks out of that deal, right?
Woo! That guy's he's okay sometimes.
Hey, leading receiver this past week.
Let's go. Now we're going to do something we've never done before.
Yes.
We're going to reel off 6 teams at once.
Yes. Here you go from 23 to 18. Take it, the NFC South and the NFC North.
The Atlanta Falcons. The New Orleans Saints. I don't remember because I can't click buttons that
Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, we'll alternate because you have a list over there. The Chicago Bears.
The Green Bay Packers.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
There you go. There's 18 through 23. All of them in a mishmash together. Jeremy says there's no difference between any of these teams.
I don't think there is. I really don't. You're the same team. 2 of you are going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which 2 it is. And you're a threat to absolutely nobody. Nobody. Because you all have a huge deficiency. Most of them, it's quarterback. Atlanta, you don't have anything that even kind of resembles a quarterback. You don't have anybody that could play a quarterback in a Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're turning to Taylor Heineken, which you did once and then you reverted. I don't know if Desmond Ridder had pictures of Arthur Smith doing something horrible with a farm animal. I don't know if he can explain why he grew that mustache. There is some weird amount of blackmail that Desmond Ridder had that put him back on the field. But I guess Arthur Smith found it and burned it.
It's the kind of foot crimes that would make Rex Ryan blush.
Hey, some of us are just good little foot soldiers. No big deal. The New Orleans Saints, you have all kinds of talent. You are just so unbelievably bad when it comes to coaching and preparedness. And I just watch that team and go, how do you have this much talent? And it's this laughably bad. Minnesota Vikings, if you had a quarterback, you'd have a shot. But, hey, you remember that thing that I said about the defense? And everybody, well, they've let up less points than anybody in the NFL for the last 4 weeks. Yeah. Did you see what Jake Browning did to you in the fourth quarter? Oh, weird. You know why? Because you don't have any talent. You don't. The best player on your defense, and I don't even know that it's debatable, is an undrafted rookie. That's the best player you have.
Yep.
The Chicago Bears. I don't know what to do with you. You make my head hurt. I thought for a time you were going to win this division.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remembered, no, Justin Fields still your quarterback.
You can build around him, but I don't know that you can ever build a winner around him, right? I don't.
He's the exotic dancer of the NFL.
Explain that one.
He's going to put you in just a happy mood and then pat you on the head and wish you the best of luck as he walks you out to your car because you're out of money.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. It's one of the better analogies I've ever had.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't know how much more he needs, but he's about to get 2 top 5 picks to put around him, and I still don't think they win more than 7 games next year.
Right. You can't trust Chicago to build a winner around him. The thing that pisses me off most about the Chicago Bears is that they're going to do that. They're as you talked earlier, they're going to keep Justin Fields. They're going to build around him. They're going to bring in Marvin Harrison Jr. and break him.
I don't think they'll break it. Look, DJ
broken.
Moore's not broken. I can't wait for the excuses next year when you have a defense that's somewhere in the 8 to 12 range. You have a stable of young running backs. One of the best sets of weapons in the NFL, an upgraded offensive line, and you're still 7-10, and people look at me and go, it's not Justin's fault. What is it then?
Right.
Is Mercury in retrograde? Did they forget to charge their chakra crystals? Did they not use a Ouija board to talk to the spirits? Who the hell else are you going to blame it on? It's Justin Fields. It's always been Justin Fields, and it will continue to be no matter what you put around him.
I feel like he's always going to be the last one to get the blame, though, because that's what we do, right? That's what fans do.
He's progressing into that Tim Tebow, Cam Newton, Baker Mayfield tier of, I can't talk to the people that defend him because you're all crazy. And frankly, I'm tired of buying 96-pack crayons to explain to you why this is not working.
Well, it's because
speaking of that, the team in front of them, they have the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love is falling right into that too. I don't know what more you have to see. I don't know why there were certain teams in the NFL that couldn't figure this out. How many times have I said just play zone against him? 100?
Bunch.
I think I've said it 100 times. Do you know what your team did against him?
Uh-huh.
They played 100% zone.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't figure it out.
No.
He looked like a D3 quarterback because that's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is disarm the one thing he can do, which is he does have a really good arm. If you take it off his arm and put it on his brain, he can't do it. He had that problem at Utah State. He has that problem now. It ain't hard to figure out.
Yeah.
And then you get the king of this here playoff poop tier, the Tampa Bay. That's a thing. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. Let's go.
It's a lot of verbs. Okay, it's a lot of syllables, and I didn't know which one I wanted to use.
I love it. The Tankaneer Bumpaneers. Yeah, let's go.
That needs to be a shirt. Fire them. Oh, what do you fire other than fire that charcoal grill? It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's just a club DJ with a lazy eye. That's your look. You got that new Dua Lipa? Sorry.
Dua Lipa. I prefer Doja Cat, thank you.
I don't know what either of those things are. You can tell me that those were brands of car or DJs. Okay. Hey, did you see my new car? I bought a Doja Cat. Sweet. It got 4 doors or 2.
Tampa Bay comes in at number 18. And the team falls in exactly where I've been telling you they've been for the last 6 weeks. You're the best of the worst teams. And it's the worst place to be.
See what's upsetting to me about this is you keep using the word best.
Yes.
Okay, this tier is like having 6 children, and the worst of them is doing 10 years in Attica, and the least of them hasn't had a job since Bill Clinton was president. There ain't no best here. That's my qualm, is that you stop using that word. Least baddest.
Least baddest.
I'm okay with that.
There you go. Whatever works in your mind.
Lesser horror awful.
Didn't realize you were triggered by vocabulary there, but
no, it's just okay. Best should be reserved for things that are good. All right, if you go to a restaurant and they say this is the best dish we have, and it's a cat litter flambe, that's not the best anything. It's just less horror awful. B. Malik said, I thought Baker did pretty well this weekend. He did.
He did a great job.
He did. Against quite possibly the most incompetent defense in the league.
And that's the problem that I have with this team, is that they are they're handling their business against the worst teams in the league, and it's all smoke and mirrors. And now you're going in to take on a Jacksonville team that's not going to have Trevor Lawrence this week. Guess what? You're going to win that game too.
I'm going to disagree.
You can disagree all you want to, but
and we don't know that they're not going to Trevor.
I have already decided this in my mind, that this is how this is going to go. We're going to finish this season 10-7, having beaten the Trevor Lawrence-less Jaguars, the Saints, and the Panthers to end out the season. You'll get dump trucked by Dallas, and it won't matter.
It's actually more likely it's going to be Philadelphia at this point.
Because at the end of it, what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with a contract for Baker Mayfield that pays him $35 to $45 million a year.
This is my new scale. All right, I'm going to call it the Daniel Jones scale. Daniel Jones got 4 years, $160 million, 36 completely up front, 81 guaranteed at signing. 92 total guaranteed.
Yep.
If you're not comfortable with that contract, which no Giant fan that I know was, if you're not comfortable with that contract for a quarterback, they're not a franchise quarterback. They're not a good quarterback.
No, because that's the baseline.
Are you comfortable with that for Baker Mayfield?
No.
Oh, good God, no. Are you comfortable with that for Jordan Love?
No.
Oh, good God, no. Are you comfortable with that for Justin Fields?
No.
Oh, good God, no. You're answering your own question.
There has to be a separate market for these guys. And the problem is that you have these crappy franchises like the Chicago Bears, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm going to throw the New York Giants in there as well. Because you have these teams that are going to be the one. I always tell you when we get into this argument, somebody's going to do it, right? There's somebody's going to give them the $40 million deal. I just don't want it to be my team.
Somebody is going to marry the stripper. You don't want it to be you.
Nope.
Because you bought a new couch and you don't want cigarette burns on it.
That's right. That's right.
And that's where you're at with every one of these teams.
Yes.
The winner of these teams is whoever does not do that. Whichever one has the huevos to go, that's franchise quarterback money. You are not a franchise quarterback, and we are not giving you that. Because there are 3 kinds of teams in this league. There are teams that have a franchise quarterback. There are teams that do not have a franchise quarterback. And then there are imitators. The imitators live right here. Every single team on this list, the last 6 teams we've said, they either have no solution at quarterback whatsoever. They have a high draft pick, one of which was not drafted by the team that drafted him, that's still on a lower tiered deal that's getting ready to get paid, or they have Kirk Cousins. The Vikings are the worst roster on this list, and it's not close. Because he's the closest to a franchise quarterback.
Yep. I hear no lies.
Look, franchise quarterback, this is not an open-ended essay question. Are you or are you not? It's kind of like, are you dead? Yes or no. Well, if you answered it, then the answer's not no. And if I have to think about it, you're not.
Right.
And when we get to the front page, we'll talk about the quarterbacks that are there, and you'll realize that it's not the only thing that matters. It's 50% of your grade.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if the NFL was an examination or a college class, 50% of your grade is do you have a quarterback? Another 25% is do you have a coach with an IQ above salad dressing? The rest of it is all just kind of nebulous. We can survive. We can be good. Philadelphia has an elite roster from 2 to 53. I don't think you have the quarterback, and I don't think you have the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott plays like a franchise quarterback sometimes. Mike McCarthy coaches like an elite coach sometimes. When that doesn't happen, you're not good.
Mm-hmm.
When it does, you are.
Yep. One last team here in the second tier, number 17, before we get into the top half of the league.
And yes, I do believe this team is better than every team on the screen. The Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to say something, and I'm not doing it to trigger Tank. I'm really not. I do love saying the word trigger. So I love seeing people, oh, I'm angry. Well, I'm tall. Those two things mean about the same amount. If I was actively looking for a job in the NFL right now that was going to come open, the Raiders are one of the most attractive jobs on this market, and I don't think it's really all that close.
Why?
Because you're in one of the most booming places in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You have a fantastic stadium. Mm-hmm. You have a roster that a lot of things that can be done with. You have a lot of capital. And it's kind of a blank slate. I've got Max Crosby, who's an elite pass rusher. Great. I need one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I got Tyree Wilson, who I don't know exactly what he's going to be, but he's a raw ball of clay. I got Malcolm Kuntz. I got a couple corners that I think could turn into something. I got a couple linemen that I think are going to turn into something.
Mm-hmm.
I got Josh Jacobs. I got Jacoby Myers.
Maybe. Are you going to pay Josh Jacobs, right? Because his contract's up at the end of the year.
I don't know. I may ride the Lightning and franchise him again. I don't know.
Do I have a quarterback? I'm tied to Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'm tied to Jimmy Garoppolo for a year, and then I can get out from underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden O'Connell has shown he's good enough to get another year in this offense. I said it last week before he threw up 63 against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. How can I convince Devontae Adams to stay? Would be my biggest question.
Well,
because you take him away, and I mean,
here's the thing: I take him away, and I add another receiver out of this class that will ultimately be my one. There are 5 guys in this class that will be number 1 wide receivers in this league.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go get one of those guys. I'm going to fleece the Jets, and I'm going to have 2 first-round picks. Did you notice when I did the Jets that I said, I give up your 25 first-round pick? Because that's what the offer would be.
Yeah.
If I'm the Raiders, then I do that. Hey, let's say this Aiden O'Connell thing doesn't work out. Weird. What would that mean? Oh, that means I got 2 first-round picks next year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that probably gives me all the platitude to do anything that I need to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how smart teams build themselves moving forward. I give myself an out. But fans are super impatient, and they go, we've got to have the quarterback solution now. That's not possible. I'm paying $1 bajillion to Jimmy Garoppolo that Josh McDaniels and Dolph Ziggler locked me into. I got to make chicken salad out of some chicken poop.
Sure. The question
that's what I'm going to do with Farva.
The question is, are they smart? So that's the thing. That's the thing that holds me up with Vegas. Do I want to be there? Do I want to be in Vegas? As many different iterations of we're starting over have just completely dissolved. I would look at that and go, yeah, okay, location's nice, stadium's nice, fan base is fantastic, right? One of the most loyal fan bases in all of football, and I got a hell of a brand. All those things are great, but if I don't have people calling the shots upstairs that I trust, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, this is one of those times that I can't really tell you why I know this, and I can't really give you any information beyond what I'm getting ready to say.
Okay.
Mark Davis has seen the error of his ways and the times they are a-changing in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And don't be shocked if you walk away from the offseason with the Raiders and go, damn it, team's going to be good in a year.
Mm-hmm.
The AFC is really good. The AFC is also a house of cards because you have a lot of teams like Cincinnati that are about to become real expensive. You got a lot of teams like Cleveland that are getting ready to become real expensive, and you're not going to be able to keep them together. I'm not saying they're going to fall off the world. They're going to be really formidable for another year.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets into, okay, well, we already paid Joe, and we're paying Deshaun Watson, and we're going to have to make some hard decisions on guys that we drafted. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm positioning myself this upcoming year, hey, you know, we're probably going to go 7-10, 8-9, somewhere in there this year. If we can do that again next year, that's awesome. And then the books are going to be very clear for me to come in like a Hoover vacuum cleaner and just, hey, you can't pay Greg Newsome, sweet, he's my new slot guy. Hey, you can't pay, just thinking off the top of my head, Cam Taylor-Britt, ooh, he's my new corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to, a smart team is going to do that. And I have a funny feeling it's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay. All right.
All I got to do is build the foundation, and then I can come cherry pick free agency, fill the holes I need, draft well. Next thing you know, I'm a Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm. How many guys does that take? How many hires does that take in the front office to put that in line? Oh, it's just one. It's just to hire Jeremy, and it all.
No, I didn't say it was
streamlined.
just one. I just said, hey, you know, there's a guy that.
There's a guy. You can hire one guy to fix it all, and that's me.
I didn't say I could fix it all. Just said I could help. Because you're going to need some pass catchers, and I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, Las Vegas Raiders coming in at 17 this week in the Week 16 NFL power rankings. You're still too high on the Raiders, but it is what it is.
I'm not.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coldest day of the week will be today, modifying temperatures and getting well into the 50s as high pressure goes east-southeast of us later in the week. Good-looking day today, but a bit brisk or cold or whatever you want to call it. Lots of sunshine, upper 30s, won't feel like it with a gusty northwest breeze. Tonight, we'll settle back to near 20. Yes, the colder spots will be in the teens. Wednesday, sunshine, 52. Thursday, sunny, 57. Friday, sunny, 56. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Don't miss out on new deals every day at Lowe's. Get up to 30% off plus save an extra $750 on select major appliances. Valid through 12/20. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
The 2024 Ingalls Southern Conference Basketball Championships will be held at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville in the ExploreAsheville.com arena March 7th through 11th, 2024. Tickets on sale now and are available via Ticketmaster.com and at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville box office.
This is Carolina basketball.
2-on-1. Baycott finishes the transition hammer. R.J. Davis, he's going to try a quick three. Yes, from the right sideline.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Ends up to Baycott, and he gets the run out. Two-handed flush. Carolina, it's Davis. He's fouled, and give him it.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search iHeart Holiday and start listening now. You'll see your local holiday radio station, plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists, and podcasts. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
At Ingalls, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC there with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
All right, we're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Top half of the league. Week 16 NFL Power Rankings. Number 16.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, they got the win over the Philadelphia Eagles last night. But coming out of that game, did you feel like, man, Seattle, they've turned a corner?
Nope.
No. Everything I looked at last night went, damn, Philadelphia sucks at that. And then just roll off the list like we did at the top of the program. Seattle Seahawks fans tuning in for the show may be feeling upset. Why are you not talking more about the Seahawks?
What am I supposed to talk about you?
Right, last night was about how the Eagles blew a shot.
What am I supposed to talk about you? That your 25-year veteran head coach that won a Super Bowl apparently doesn't understand how the clock works. The fact that your backup quarterback was good for 2 minutes. I mean, what exactly did you see here? This game was put on a platter for you. I literally was in our Discord with 5 minutes to go as it looked like Philadelphia was bleeding out the clock, saying, man, Seattle had every opportunity to win this game and took absolutely none of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a 92-yard drive. Seattle is one of those teams that their good is really good. The problem is that I don't see their good very often, and I tend to see their good against teams that are really bad. Last night, you saw their good for 2 minutes against a team that's half us in their house. You could make the playoffs. I don't think you could do anything with it. If you got lucky and Philadelphia was the 2, because you do match up really well against them because you have receivers they just can't deal with. Because James Bradbury and Darius Slay apparently touched the Space Jam ball, and for the love of God, anything behind them should not be in the NFL. I don't know how Howie Roseman has gotten so bad at drafting corners. I'm not sure Josh Jobe would not have a lower PFF cover grade than me. And I don't run so hot, and I'm pretty hefty. It's just laughable how bad that secondary is.
Yes.
And the play call's bad, and we've already been over that. But, I didn't walk away from that going, oh, I have a renewed confidence in the Seattle Seahawks.
No, I didn't either.
I looked at it and went, okay, add Seattle back to that list of mediocre to flat-out bad teams that might make the playoffs. I also do not understand what happened with Geno Smith, and we haven't talked about this yet, but I feel like we need to.
Okay.
What the hell was that? Geno Smith comes out warming up. He's dressed, and then Drew Lock hinted at it in the postgame. They asked him, when did you find out you were starting? And he said, I don't really want to get into that. There's a story there, but I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that even mean? Then you waste a spot with a guy that can't go because you made him active. If anybody but Pete Carroll did that, we would have opened this show with, are you out of your mind? Then he takes a timeout on a bad call. Philadelphia goes, oh, cool. Well, while we're doing this, I'm going to just go ahead and challenge that, and I'm going to win. And it pushed a field goal back. Meanwhile, Pete can't stop whining about getting his timeout back.
Right.
That's not how that works, and you should know that.
I thought that was quite hilarious.
It was just a level of incompetence that I do not expect from Pete Carroll. But you were opportunistic with 2 interceptions. You have the talent to be good. I don't think you have the quarterback to be good.
Yeah.
Drew Lock was good in a 2-minute scenario against one of the worst secondaries in the league, one of the worst pass rush defenses, or one of the worst pass defenses in the league. Awesome.
Yeah.
That kept you alive for another week. Who do they play moving forward? I don't know what they end the season with.
Let me see. I got it right here. It is
Titans, Steelers, Cardinals. That should be 3 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Should be 3 wins. You should be 10-7. You should make the playoffs.
Yes.
I have zero faith that you will. Now, you could be 9-8, make the playoffs, but you're a team that loses games that do not make sense.
But can you play physical football, run the ball enough, and just get the break or two that you need in the passing game, just like you did last night, right? I mean, we've seen teams bully these other top teams in the NFC with the running game.
There's a path to it. The problem is I haven't seen them put 4 good quarters together. It's really hard for me to think that they're going to put 4 good weeks together.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt about it. I mean, you can come up with one. You can come up with one good week where you can catch a Dallas Cowboys or a Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think you can beat the Seattle.
They're the Toby Keith of the NFL. They ain't as good as they once were, but they're as good once as they ever were.
That's not bad.
Weird, because the team at 15, they have something in common with Seattle.
Yep.
Whatever could that be?
Russell Wilson?
You got to say the number.
Oh, number 15. You said 15, and I was just waiting for you to say it.
Not Denver
15.
Broncos.
There you go.
There we go. That was clunky at best.
Yeah, it was.
That was chunkier than
chunkier than all my girlfriends put together.
Oh, you said that, and you that's R.I.P. Tank.
What are you talking about?
Miss that guy.
What are you talking about?
Hit in the face with it.
Or are you suggesting my wife's going to be upset about that?
Possibly. Maybe.
No. I address all of her letters to Dear Thunder Chunky. She loves it.
And that, if you just screwed up and this is the random 3 minutes she's listening to the show, sad Christmas. Anyway, let's move past that. Denver's not very good.
No.
They're not. They were really lucky. They were really opportunistic. But it's exactly like I told you. When the turnovers don't happen, this is what's going to happen. Denver Donkeys. I love that guy. That dude is – I love rational fans. He said they raised their floor this year, but the ceiling isn't that high. They don't look like a playoff team even if they finish 10-7. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He said it better than I could. That's a rational fan, and I appreciate that.
Yep.
Because you cannot have this little dinky-dunky offense that never takes shots. When you do, they look completely listless. You've got a running game that's good, but then as soon as you get behind and you're not forcing the turnovers, all of a sudden it's almost impossible for you to win.
Mm-hmm.
Then you catch a team like Detroit who just goes, hey, you remember? We're good, and we're at home, and we're about to hurt your feelings real bad.
That's so weird. As you were saying all of that, that all applies to the Philadelphia Eagles. Every bit of it.
Fact. And, it's weird that you said that way because I have a weird feeling that everybody thinks they're going to have to wait deep into hour 3 to hear the Philadelphia Eagles. And surprise, surprise, it might not be as long as you think.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, it'll be time to get into the rest of the power rankings. Number 14 through 1.
The last hour of this show shall be called Jeremy's 2023 Playoff Christmas Manifesto.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
'Twas the day before Christmas, and at the North Pole, the elves were all gleeful, mind, body, and soul. From making to baking, content as you please, when off in the distance they heard a loud sneeze.
Hello, I'm in need of normal human cold medicine.
One last stop to top off the tank, and Santa's a go, with Ingalls to thank. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Just be natural. Try to roll around in it gracefully and not like a puppy.
Maria's photography studio is zooming into a flurry of projects.
Where did I put that memory card?
She needs an assistant to keep business in focus.
Hang on while I change the external flash. Oh,
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What kind of a holiday gift giver are you? The stop at the corner store on the way to the party kind? Or the thoughtful hunt for the perfect holiday gift kind? Well, if you're the thoughtful one, we've got the perfect gift. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear that are so comfortable and so easy, everyone in your family will adore them. Because with Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down to the ground, and you never have to touch your shoes. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coldest day of the week will be today, modifying temperatures and getting well into the 50s as high pressure goes east-southeast of us later in the week. Good-looking day today, but a bit brisk or cold or whatever you want to call it. Lots of sunshine. Upper 30s, won't feel like it with a gusty northwest breeze. Tonight, we'll settle back to near 20. Yes, the colder spots will be in the teens. Wednesday, sunshine, 52. Thursday, sunny, 57. Friday, sunny, 56. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Hi, this is Ellerslie McHugh. The North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Western Ag Programs wants to wish you a Merry Christmas and to thank all of our farmers, growers, and makers for their dedication to this season that we see on our plates, in our homes, and all around us.
Wishing you love, light, and many blessings for a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy holidays from Stargazers Designs and Balsam Mountain Floral.
Hey, I came as fast as I could. What's wrong?
Everything's okay. I just need you to know I'm glowing up.
You just texted SOS Get Here Now.
And I stand by that because I switched to Cricket and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm gonna go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricket and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must open a new line on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax to its sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is always also heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Take us with you around the world. Don't forget you can watch us on YouTube as well. TheSportsocracy.com is the website. Once you go to the website, you see the live video link in the middle of the screen. Click on it. Subscribe once you're through to YouTube. And, of course, you can join us each and every day on the YouTubes, see our beautiful faces, and join us in the chat and get your thoughts in on Power Rankings Tuesday or, Threadbare Thursday or all of the interactive things that we do.
Well, there won't be a Threadbare Thursday.
True.
Tomorrow will be the Christmas Spectacular because it will be the last live show of the year.
Yes.
Because it's Christmas and I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need a break. Need to wrap some presents. I have a rest of the year resolution is that I want to spend much more time in the last 2 weeks of this year in my underoos in my living room. And so I'm really committed to that.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Tomorrow will be our final day of the year. Tune in for the Christmas Spectacular. Here from noon to 3 on ESPN Asheville, and then we will touch base with you on, Tuesday the 2nd of January is when we will return to the airwaves here. Nice little holiday break for us. It is Week 16 Power Rankings. We're up to number 14 this week.
And this is where you start to get into, okay, these teams aren't bad. Mm-hmm. These teams have, you got some limitations, but you're not bad.
Mm-hmm.
14 is the Indianapolis Colts. Them and one other team really just mystify my brain.
Okay.
And it's ironic because that team is the next team.
At number 13,
the Los Angeles Rams.
Why do they mystify you?
Because they don't have a whole lot of talent. The Rams have a high-end quarterback in Matthew Stafford and two really high-end receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, Kyron Williams is a dog. Yeah, you want to know why you don't jump off a cliff on a guy's draft stock when he doesn't run fast? Kyron Williams.
Yep.
You remember how high I was on him? Then he ran slow at the combine, and I went, well, he's dead to me now.
Yeah, he ran like
a
7-second 40, and you went,
it wasn't that bad.
Was it 4.7?
It was
like
bad.
That? It was
bad, whatever it was.
In that neighborhood. It was not good. There were offensive linemen who ran faster.
Yes.
There's just a couple of them at the top that ran really fast, that were faster than Kyron Williams. I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but here's the thing. As long as you can score points in the NFL, you're going to win games. And that's the one thing that the Los Angeles Rams can do because of Matt Stafford, because they hit on Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. It just all kind of works. They've been,
4.65, by the way, is what he ran.
4.65. There you go. I knew it was somewhere in
4.65 at 5'9", 190.
Yeah. Yeah. The offensive line has done a pretty good job holding them together.
Both of these
year.
teams have, I think, really good offensive coaches. Mm-hmm. And these, to me, are the two teams that you should look at if you're the Jets or the Patriots or the Panthers or one of these teams that's looking for a head coach. You should look to the Rams and you should look to the Indianapolis Colts. Find the young guy, the young offensive guru, and put guys with him. Give him the veteran defensive coordinator. Give him the linebacker coach that was a head coach or has just been in the league for a billion years. That's the path to righteousness in this league. Hiring defensive coaches now, head coaches, is almost a fool's errand. It can work, but you have way more impediments. D'Amico Ryans, that works.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have to replace your offense coordinator in a year or this year, possibly.
As long as he keeps hiring well.
Because Bobby Slowick might be that guy. Mm-hmm. That might be the guy that if he walks in that room, he interviews really well, and you just go, you know what? That's the guy that's going to lead my franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at these two and go, there's a lot of impediments here. There's not a lot of talent on the offensive line for the Rams. The Colts don't have a lot of talent, period. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's the best player on the offense. Barely played.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't mattered. Zach Moss. It's been just fine. They seem to have 94 tight ends on this roster, and I never know which one's going to score. Will Mallory was trending in that direction, and then, 3 red zone targets for Mo Alley Cox. Sweet. Thank you, Shane Steichen, for that. You make it really hard for me to make money on this.
It's always going to keep you guessing.
But Michael Pittman's had a special year. The defense has been better than I thought. It's still not good, but it's been better than I thought. It's been good enough. Because Gardner Minshew, a weird dude with a weird mustache and a mullet that lives in a panel van, has come in here, and the offense has been fantastic. Why? Because the scheme's so good. Because you got the coach in higher right. And now there's a possibility the Colts could win this division, which was unheard of coming into this season.
Especially as the Jaguars have to play a playoff team this week without their quarterback. You can slip up at any moment in this league. And Indianapolis, what do they have left? Just trying to click through here, find out what they have left on their schedule.
I can tell you. I don't think it's particularly
Atlanta, Vegas, Texas.
I was about to say
Texans.
I was about to say I don't think it's particularly difficult from what I remember.
Nope. That should be 2 wins at least. You got 2 wins at least, and we'll see who shows up for the Houston game.
I feel like these two teams, the Colts and the Rams, are the 2 teams that you don't want to see sneak in as the 7s. Because I don't want to play the one of them. And I don't care who it is. I mean, I'm to the point where I feel like Cleveland, Cincinnati, Buffalo are probably the teams they're probably the 3 best teams. But Cincinnati doesn't have a quarterback. Doesn't have their quarterback. Cleveland doesn't have a quarterback. I don't want to see Indianapolis.
Are the Rams a threat to the Cowboys?
Yes.
Are they a threat to the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yes.
Are they a threat to the San Francisco 49ers?
No.
So they're the 4th best team in the NFC.
That was the other thing I wanted to ask.
And that is damning. This is where you are. I don't disagree with you.
They're 5th in the power rankings in the NFC. They're 5, Seattle 6, and Tampa Bay 7.
I don't have any qualms with that.
And
I'm
that's
just super surprised that you were able to get here, and that's what coaching does.
Oh, I'm dumbfounded you were able to get
So what great coaching does.
Our guy, Jake Ellenbogen, said, well, the Rams are better than we all thought. We made fun of him. Like, dude, you're too close to this. Like, you are entirely too close to this. And he was right. He was right because that offense has been prodigious. The running game has been really good with Kyren Williams. And even without the back-end talent, and they don't have the back-end talent, that defense. Whew. There are times I watch them play football and go, how is this working? Like, it doesn't even make sense to me how this is working.
Well, because their best player in the secondary is who? Kobe Durant?
Probably.
Not good.
But
you
it
need
works.
to reload. Yeah, you need to reload the talent, and hopefully you can draft some.
I mean, and they've drafted pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially with having no first-round picks, and now you've actually got one.
Right. I mean, you keep talking about how this team is devoid of talent. I don't know that it's as devoid of talent as you make it out to be, because I do feel like they have some good young pieces, like Byron Young. I think he's pretty good. Could develop into something.
He's a good young piece.
Ernest Jones is another one that they got late. I want to say that he was like a 5th-round pick out of South Carolina. 3rd-round pick? Okay. He was drafted higher than I thought he was. I feel like those guys are pretty good. I don't feel like they've done completely terribly. Could they have done better? Sure, everybody can do better. What was the post I was seeing
let's play this fun game. Aaron Donald, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyren Williams, Matthew Stafford. Who's the 6th best player on this team?
Steve Avila?
Yeah, he hadn't been great. I mean, and I don't really care who you say here. Ernest Jones is probably the right call.
Ernest Jones, yeah.
The 6th best team on, let's see, the Green Bay Packers is probably Rashawn Gary. Compare those two and tell me that this roster is not devoid of talent.
Okay. But that's what you can make up for with good coaching.
Correct. And that's the point.
Right.
I don't think there's another coach in the NFL that could have this team where they're sitting.
I would agree. How about number 12?
The Houston Texans. Man, for your sake, I hope you don't have to play Manning cast guest Case Keenum again. Did you happen to see any of that last night?
I did.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, they were going to have Kevin Hart because apparently Peyton Manning and Kevin Hart were together last week, and they agreed that he would come on the Manning cast again. Well, they had tap dance and audible because Kevin Hart had to cancel at the last minute, and they brought in Case Keenum, which was I actually thought he was pretty good.
He was much better than Mina Kimes.
No doubt.
I watched the Mina Kimes portion of the Manning cast.
I couldn't stop figuring out going, why are you laughing so often?
Yeah. I don't normally watch the Manning cast because
I watch
it's
it every
irritating. And the Mina Kimes portion of it was why. It was because you end up with three people on the screen. Nobody's saying anything. I can hear her louder than everything else, and I can hear her breathing louder than I'm hearing them
She kept
talk.
laughing over top of them talking.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's where those kind of die out for me.
And
is that and she's Mina's really bright when it comes to this, but it was awkward, and and Peyton and Eli are not. They're not. They're not media guys.
Mm-mm.
I would honestly say at this point, I am more developed as an interviewer than Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are.
Yes, I know I am.
Definitively,
that
you are. I don't do interviews ever. I think I'm better at it than
That's probably the thing that irritates me the most about the Manning cast is that none of it is quote unquote professional broadcasting.
And
right?
see,
You
I
throw
don't care
on
about
two
any of that.
athletes that, to me, I'm a broadcast guy, so of course I want to have the guy who's going to be good, who's going to move the story forward, who's going to keep everything going. And I feel like it falls apart at times. And last night with Mina Kimes, it was clear that she is wonderful, awesome. I love her so much. Her takes on small shows when she has little bit parts, but you put her in a long form scenario, and I just don't think she has it. She doesn't have the rhythm for it.
I didn't see that the same way you did. I just didn't think they could push it along. And then she was uncomfortably laughing. And she's like, hey, you're not asking me a question, so I don't really know what you want me to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw it. And I'm not the broadcast guy. I'm a comedian that was brought in here to tell jokes. And
oh, yeah.
There's
a market for what they do, no doubt.
It just so happened that you all went, oh, wait. His brain works weird.
Yeah. It just ain't my thing.
Anyway, the Houston Texans, with C.J. Stroud, I think you could probably win a game. I just don't think you're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will end up being a season that we look at and go, oh, you really push the ball forward. You're 2 years ahead of what we thought you would be. You got the coach, you got the quarterback, you got the edge. But, you still have a game with Houston, still got one with Indy, still got another one with Tennessee. I could see you losing all three of those.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think Tennessee's going to come into your house and beat you, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if they did. And then you look at some of these other teams who they don't play anybody. Buffalo plays Miami, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have no room for error whatsoever.
Yeah. I don't think they're making the playoffs.
I don't either.
I really don't.
Mainly because I don't see a way that the Cleveland Browns fall out, and I don't see a way that the Cincinnati Bengals don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only one spot up for grabs, and it's between the Colts, Texans, and Bills.
Frankly, I guess I got the Bills at the top of that.
The Bills are the best team.
Josh Allen is the right. I've said for a couple of weeks now, that moment could be coming where they get hot, and maybe this is it. James Cook's going to keep cooking. Maybe this is it. But the Indianapolis Colts are close to the Buffalo Bills, and the Texans are far behind. Just because you don't have your quarterback. And we'll see what happens if you can get hot at the end of the season here and win some games late.
I agree. We got one more team that we need to tackle before the break.
Yes, number 11.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. Is it untoward of me to say that I don't think there's a lot of difference between the Jaguars, the Colts, and the Texans right now?
No, because
I really don't.
I can't trust it. Right? You went through the hot start of the season, right? Up until 3 weeks ago, the 3-game losing streak is, frankly, it's kind of what I've been waiting on. I've been waiting for this to fall apart.
I wasn't. I thought they were going to sleepwalk to the division. I thought it was going to be really easy. Here's the problem. You can't run.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot run the ball to save your life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Travis Etienne's averaging per carry? He has the 4th most carries in the NFL.
I'll go with 3.1.
3.7.
Oh, okay.
3.1 is like Najee Harris. Just horror awful. But, I mean, the wheels have fallen off this. You remember when we were talking about Travis Etienne being the absolute X factor and he was putting up these huge games?
Yes.
That's been a very long time ago.
6 weeks at least.
So the second London game against Buffalo, he had 26 carries for 136 yards. Do you know since then he hasn't averaged better than 4 yards a carry but one time? That was in a game against Cincinnati. He was 4.1. He had 11 carries for 45 yards. He scored a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah.
But he's just not keeping you in front of the chains. And that puts it all on Trevor Lawrence, and it puts a lot of this on that defense, which is not good.
But does that correlate with, I don't know, does that correlate with injuries, right? Calvin Ridley was down for a couple of weeks. You had Christian Kirk out for a couple of weeks, didn't you?
Calvin Ridley was not out.
Was Ridley not out? I thought he was.
Christian Kirk's been out for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And, I mean, yeah, but that's been 2 weeks, and this has been going on for 10.
I guess Zay Jones was the other one that's been in and
Zay's
out
a
of
little
the lineup.
bulky. They showed him running at one point. It looked like he had a brace that was about as big as the computer.
I think Calvin's problem has been bootsy as hell since the start of the season.
It's just been inconsistent.
Right.
I mean, that's every team. That's every player on this team. Yeah. They're all inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I think it's a 3-horse race to see who wins the division. The other two probably miss the playoffs.
Yep.
And I won't be shocked if Jacksonville's the one that missed the playoffs.
I will be truly shocked.
I won't. I
mean, you're going to need one of those other teams to win out in order for it to happen. Jacksonville, I mean, to me, I feel like they only have one true game that they could lose coming up, and that's this week.
Well, if you're playing C.J. Beathard, it would be very easy to lose.
Oh, sure. But I don't expect Trevor to be gone for long, and Trevor comes back for the last 2 games of the season. I mean, it's no guarantee, obviously, that you're going to lose this week because Tampa can Tampa.
I'm just going to be honest with you. They could lose to Tampa. They could lose to Tennessee, too.
That's a tough one.
That secondary against a quarterback with that big of an arm, yeah, you could lose to them.
Mm-hmm. Better coach team on the road in Nashville last week of the season. I get all of those things, but I'm going to expect it. See, here's the thing. I've been expecting it, right, with Jacksonville of you're going to fall apart at some point. And this was always the trouble spot. These 3 games at the end of the season with the Bengals and the Browns and the Ravens, even though things have changed a lot for the Bengals and the Browns, they're still competitive teams, right? They're still at the top of their division, or at least competing for playoff spots in the division. And you haven't done well with it, right? You've gone 0-3 in that stretch. Now your quarterback's hurt. There's a lot going on. A lot going on for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I don't like it going to the rest of the season.
And now we get into the full manifesto of I'm going to make a statement coming back that some of you are going to think is completely insane. And then I'm going to justify it, and I don't think you'll find me as insane anymore.
The 2023 Christmas Playoff Manifesto by Flostradamus Jeremy Green, because I'm distancing myself from the argument that's coming. You're into Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
The Ingalls Giving Tree, benefiting Manna Food Bank, will be on display at the Asheville Mall as a reminder of the needs of so many families in western North Carolina. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all Ingalls locations. Donate online or at the Ingalls Giving Tree at Asheville Mall so Manna Food Bank can reach everyone who needs help. Nothing can hold back the holiday spirit of giving in western North Carolina. Please help Ingalls Markets, iHeartRadio Asheville, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this holiday season.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The holidays are back, and you know what else is back? Wendy's Peppermint Frosty. So take some time for yourself with this cold and creamy treat this year. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Peppermint Frosty. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Hey, it's Mark Starling from First News on 570, and I've been telling you for years how great Summit Dental is with Dr. Chad Reinhardt. Look, you don't have to take it from me. Check out these 5-star reviews on Google. Summit Dental is amazing. They're so friendly and welcoming when you arrive. They have comfort options that you can request at no extra charge, like a warm lavender-infused neck wrap, pillows, blankets, sunglasses, and warm and cold drinks. I've never had this at any previous dental offices. We've changed our whole family over to Summit. Check out Summit Dental in Asheville with Dr. Chad Reinhardt, home of the comfort menu.
On Millionaire's Cove.
Don, I won $1 million playing the $10 million spectacular scratch-off. And there's someone else.
Well, I won the $10 million top prize.
I don't know what I saw in your long-lost brother.
I have a brother?
New $10 million spectacular from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Instant millions change everything. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.11. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, I came as fast as I could. What's wrong?
Everything's okay. I just need you to know I'm glowing up.
You just texted SOS Get Here Now.
And I stand by that because I switched to Cricket and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm gonna go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricket and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must open a new line on a $60 a month voice plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
The Sportsocracy.
Hey, I go to church, just not during televised sporting events.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Us degenerates got to make that trek this weekend. That trek back into the church house for Christmas Eve morning. We're making the plans already.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah. You got to hit church once a year, right, to make the family happy. So, best of luck to you. Hopefully, you can go to the early service like I am, so we can not miss any of the games.
And my family's just afraid that I'd be throughout the the entire thing.
There's some churches you can go to where that's allowed. You can just talk to the people who are talking to you, and nobody bats an eye. It's one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever been in. I don't know. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Hey, Merry Christmas week to you all. We are in the midst of the 2023 Christmas Playoff Manifesto by Flostradamus, Jeremy Green. We're into the top 10 for Week 16.
And this is where I'm going to piss somebody off.
Yes, sir. Number 10.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Number 9.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
Let's just look at the empirical evidence, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is good at home.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas's best win is over Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Take Philadelphia away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you take that win away and you just look at Dallas's resume outside of that, what do you got? You have wins over the Seahawks, the Commanders, the Panthers, the Giants, the Rams, the Chargers, and that was the Rams before Kyron Williams and before the offense was real good.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots, the Jets, and the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what all those teams have in common? They suck.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. So now if you look at Philadelphia, the way that I look at Philadelphia, it's not all that impressive. And then you do the same thing with Philadelphia and go, as time has gone on, you have gotten worse and worse and worse. And Jalen has gotten worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
And the offensive play call has gotten worse and worse and worse. What would you be in the AFC? What would these two teams be in the AFC? Name me a division in that entire conference they could win. AFC East?
South.
Stop. I don't know.
They'd win the South.
I don't know that I agree with you. Look, I have them as they would be the best team in that division.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I agree with you. I don't know if holding up to that schedule would have been – I don't know that we wouldn't have seen this earlier. And I don't know that it wouldn't have unraveled earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you break down what you've seen out of Philadelphia and you look at how many of these games, this has bothered me since the Jet game. Because you called me out of my mind. I came in here the week after the Monday after the game with the Jets. I watched every second of it, and I said, I never for 1 second thought Philadelphia was a better team than them.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought it for a second. And then I look at them and go, man, you got a lot of wins against teams that don't matter either. Yeah, you got the Bills and you got the Chiefs, but both of them were absolutely – there was a horseshoe so far up your keister that you could taste it. Are you really that good? If they were in the AFC and you had to play one of these AFC teams, tell me who you would take them against. Would you take the Philadelphia Eagles right now against – and I'll go directly down the AFC standings.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 seed right now in the AFC is the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take them against Cleveland on a neutral field?
Yes.
I would not. That defense against Jalen Hurts, he just played one of the worst secondaries in the NFL statistically this year and got absolutely annihilated twice on 2 terrible reads. Mm-hmm. Cleveland might pick him off 5 times.
Maybe.
Because they would just toy with him. Would you take him against Cincinnati?
Probably.
I think you're on drugs. I really do. I think you are on drugs. There's no shot. No shot.
Really?
You can't stop the pass, and you're telling me I get Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? Good luck. Hey, Jalen, you got to score 40 today.
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis Colts. Okay. Yeah, I'd probably take them again. But they're ahead of them.
Yeah.
Houston Texans, same thing. Buffalo Bills, no shot. They dog-walked you for 3 quarters in your own stadium and then completely fell apart in the 4th quarter, and it really didn't have a whole lot to do with you.
Yeah.
And Dallas and Philadelphia, to me, have to be right there with each other. Because your schedules are damn near mirror images of each other.
I agree.
And your best wins are against each other.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have you any higher.
Yeah. Yeah. This past week, obviously not good for the NFC East. Here's the thing with Philadelphia. I can't chalk this up as just a blip of just, Jalen was sick, whatever. Well, then he's been sick for a month. Right.
How many times have I told you how comical it is that I think he is still being talked about as an MVP candidate?
Yes.
Like, tell me you're not watching the games without telling me. Oh, he's got the tush push. He's got a bunch of touchdowns. The vast majority of them are on that stupid play that might be what's unraveling your season.
Well, I mean, he's the quarterback on the best team in the NFC, right? Everybody thought weeks ago Philadelphia was number 1 or close to number 1. He's going to get that benefit of the doubt as the quarterback of the best team. We're seeing that with Brock Purdy. I'm not saying it's not warranted. I'm just saying before we felt it was warranted, Brock Purdy was being considered an MVP because he was leading one of the best teams in the NFL. You're going to get that benefit of the doubt. I'm there with you on Philadelphia. I'm not there with Dallas yet. I know they can't win on the road, and it's one of those things that I don't know what to call it. Is it because Mike McCarthy's not a leader on the road? Is it because the play calling changes? Is it because Dak Prescott's out of his element being at home in Jerry World? I don't know what you can pinpoint of why they can't win on the road. But I trust them more than I trust Philadelphia right now. I would take Dallas ahead of Cincinnati, ahead of Cleveland.
Do you know who their wins on the road
are? No.
The Giants?
Yep.
You got dog-walked by the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
You got beat brainless by the San Francisco 49ers. You squeaked by a Chargers team that is horror-awful.
Mm-hmm.
You played with that Eagles team.
Yep.
That Eagles team, everybody tells me so good. You beat the Panthers and got dog-walked by the Bills.
Yes.
There's nothing there. There is nothing there. You can try to twist this. You can try to spin this. You can do whatever you want to. It ain't there.
They come back and beat Miami this week. Does that help you? Does that help you? Oh, well, they can go on the road. They just got unlucky in those other ones.
No, I'm not going there. I don't believe in luck. The long-term luck.
Mm-hmm.
You got smacked by one of the worst teams in the NFL on the road. You got smacked by the Bills on the road. Yeah. I mean, will it change things? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make it slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't. No, I think it's more likely that they go into Miami and get absolutely housed. And Tyreek Hill has 200 yards against them.
Because you don't have a corner that can cover.
Nope.
Stephon Gilmore's
really physical. He ain't real fast.
That's right. He's all well and
so
good.
You better have that safety over the top, and I'm going to bleed you like a catfish with Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane if you start doing that with the two high safeties.
Yeah.
I'll bleed you out.
Yeah.
I just don't see a path that Mike McDaniel is not going to coach circles around Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. When you first threw out yesterday that we were going to do the who's best is best thing, Dallas is one of those teams that they're in the top 3. When they're playing their best, especially if they're at home, I mean, ain't really a team in the NFL that could touch them.
And here's the problem.
The problem is
there are 10 other teams that I could put in that exact same spot.
No doubt. No doubt about it. Yeah.
I can't use that metric of how good is your good. I just can't. Because now I'm throwing darts at a board at which one of you's good is going to show up and which one's bad is going to show up.
Exactly.
And I keep seeing Dallas's bad show up on the road. Well, guess what? There's a great chance that you're going to spend the vast majority of the playoffs on the road unless Philadelphia keeps losing. Problem there, they play the Giants twice. Yeah, they're not losing those.
And the Cardinals.
They play the easiest schedule in the NFL to finish the season.
Which they'll roll off 3 wins. They'll win this division.
And people will fall for it, and they'll go into the playoffs and get smacked.
Yep. Dallas goes on the road. They get a win in Tampa. And then you got to go on the road and face the San Francisco 49ers.
Good luck with that.
Or the Philadelphia. No, I guess it would. If they win, they'll have to face San Francisco. Is that how that works?
It's whoever the lowest seed is.
Oh, that's right. So there's a chance they could get to go to Philadelphia. But you're not looking forward to that either. As a team that can't win on the road.
Very unlikely.
Yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville.
And
Jeremy,
that's just the NFC East portion of this. But wait, there's more.
We'll get inside the top 8 of the Week 16 Power Rankings next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coldest day of the week will be today, modifying temperatures and getting well into the 50s as high pressure goes east-southeast of us later in the week. Good-looking day today, but a bit brisk or cold or whatever you want to call it. Lots of sunshine. Upper 30s, won't feel like it with a gusty northwest breeze. Tonight, we'll settle back to near 20. Yes, the colder spots will be in the teens. Wednesday, sunshine, 52. Thursday, sunny, 57. Friday, sunny, 56. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Total Wine & More. Still looking for amazing gifts? At Total Wine & More, find something for everyone on your list, including a single-barrel bourbon that Dad will love. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Total Wine & More. Spirits not sold in Virginia, North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
Even if you take excellent care of your teeth and gums at home, you still need to visit a dentist regularly. Many dental problems don't become visible or cause pain until they're in the more advanced stages. Asheville Smiles offers wellness digital scans, advanced oral cancer screenings, and have the latest diagnostic tools to provide patients with the most thorough clinical exam. When you're thinking about positive changes this year, don't forget to make that dental appointment, especially if it's been 6 months or longer since your last visit.
The 2024 Ingalls Southern Conference Basketball Championships will be held at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, in the ExploreAsheville.com arena, March 7th through 11th, 2024. Tickets on sale now and are available via Ticketmaster.com and at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville box office.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
'Twas the day before Christmas, and at the North Pole, the elves were all gleeful, mind, body, and soul. From making to baking, content as you please, when off in the distance they heard a loud sneeze.
Hello, I'm in need of normal human cold medicine.
One last stop to top off the tank, and Santa's a go, with Ingalls to thank. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Top 8 of the week, 16 NFL Power Rankings, the 2023 Christmas Playoff Manifesto by Flostradamus. Jeremy Green, he's got the Philadelphia Eagles at 10, Dallas Cowboys at 9 this week. Number 8.
But wait, there's more. The Detroit Lions.
Yes. Well, we finally saw the Detroit Lions. I mean, you turned it around, right? Your little slump, put up 42 points this past week. It was good to see.
Sweet. You beat the 11th best team in the AFC by $1 billion.
Hey, here's the thing. Win's a win, right? Can't ask us to do more than what's on our schedule. We showed up and we beat the piss out of them.
Right now, if you told me there was a team that went into San Francisco and beat them, I would take Detroit over Philadelphia and Dallas. I don't think any one of them is doing it.
Thank you.
I believe right now the San Francisco 49ers, I said this on Twitter last night, the 49ers should be a 10-point favorite at home against every team in the NFC because none of these teams are any good. They're all frauds to some shape, form, or fashion. I think the Lions are the least fraudulent because they had an ugly stretch, but it was against two teams that I understand why it happened. Two of those three bad games were against the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because that defense screwed with them. Not a lot of defenses that could do that. And I'm not going to get into the schematic of exactly why that happened. You also caught Jared Goff outside. I'm not really worried about him going to Dallas and playing in a dome if they're the two. I don't know how much I would love them going to Philadelphia. I also don't know that I'm overly worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'm super worried about that.
Well, I mean, you have to be worried about Jared Goff and the potential for the turnovers.
The thing here's what I couldn't stop doing.
I feel like his turnover rate triples when he gets away from home or outside.
Here's what I couldn't stop doing. How many yards are Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery going to have against the Eagles and the Cowboys? I just watched James Cook bleed you like a catfish, and Jahmyr Gibbs is better.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, he's just better.
But will he get the tote? No, he won't.
I don't know. I'm not sure that they're not setting that up for the playoffs.
Maybe they are.
Of that, we burned out David Montgomery in the regular season, and then we're going to show you what Jahmyr Gibbs can really do in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There's one NFC team in my top 7. And right now, I don't know what the active odds are. I can find out to win the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
If I was setting it, I'd have San Francisco at plus 1,000 because I don't see a prayer of any of these teams beating.
Or minus 1,000.
Yes, I said that.
Not plus.
Minus 1,000. I would have everybody else at plus 1,000 or worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Vegas doesn't have that because you're not going to put that kind of liability out there.
No. You probably have San Francisco up there at minus 250. Dallas, I would say Dallas would be behind
The
them.
Ravens the Ravens are plus 210. The 49ers are minus 110. The Eagles are plus 400. Cowboys are plus 450. Lions are plus 850. Every other team is plus 3,500 or more. As well it should be.
It sounds about right.
I agree.
Detroit Lions coming in at number 8, though. Have they fixed the problem? Are they back to the
They're pretty much
great
back to
offensive
what,
output?
for me, the Lions are about to back where they started the season, which shouldn't be all that ironic because they started the year at 6, now they're at 8.
Yep. They got 2 with Minnesota coming up over the next 3 weeks, with 1 sandwiched in there with the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll find out how this is going to shake out. It's a tough 2-game stretch for the Cowboys, going to Miami and then being at home against the Detroit Lions before they have to close it out.
And Andreas Pinckney said the secondary is still awful. I agree with you. The secret sauce was don't get behind. Because when I know you're passing, I have hellhounds descend at you. And now I can just bleed you out with Laporta and Gibbs and Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamison Williams looked alive, which is better than what I had seen in the past. I still don't think they're great, but to me, the Cowboys and the Eagles, you're right there in the same. Hey, which one of you gets to get just spanked on national television by the 49ers?
Let's go to number 7.
The Cleveland Browns.
Defense is great. Joe Falco.
Everybody
doing
keeps
enough.
talking about how the defense hasn't been good over the last few weeks. Hey, weird, they still keep winning.
Here's the thing, you can play that game for a while, right? The Cleveland Browns, you can give up points, sure, but when it comes down to it, pressure-packed moment, I need a make-or-break play. You're going to make that play on defense more often than not with those guys that you have out there, and really and truly, that's all I need you to be.
They're going to be the ugliest winning team in the NFL, and that's fine. Because guess what? They don't look for style points. A win is a win is a win is a win.
Yes. And it does not matter.
That first game with Flacco was bad. And yes, that game with the Broncos was bad. The more comfortable Joe Flacco gets. And yeah, he was genuinely terrible for 2.5 quarters against Chicago. And yet you still found a way to win.
Until he wasn't. Until he found the stride in the second half, and they were able to complete the comeback and win.
And now you play a very pivotal game against the Texans in Houston. Short week, you play the Jets in Cleveland. That you should win that game by 55 points. And then you have one with the Bengals to end the year that may be a play-in game to the playoffs. That is completely in the realm of possibility. But with a defense that good, Joe Flacco figuring out what's happening and really getting on the right page with the rest of this team, I don't want to play Cleveland. I don't want Myles Garrett to be the one that's I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
They can beat you in a way that a lot of these teams are not equipped to beat. And there's one specifically I'm thinking about that we'll talk about in a minute.
Number 6.
The Cincinnati Bengals. Hey, here's another team that just keeps finding ways to win.
You would have stolen every cent I had if you'd have made me bet on this team. Bet against this team going down the stretch here after Joe Burr. Never would I have thought that they would be in this scenario.
Jake Browning has been – the good's been really good. The bad's been good enough. And T. Higgins made one of the best plays I have seen in a long time to get in the end zone against Minnesota. That's a game you didn't deserve to win, and you won it. The weapons on this team are incredible.
But did you only win it because you got lucky? Is going to be the detractors' question here. Did Cincinnati just get lucky and win that game? Are they really this good?
They got lucky that Kevin O'Connell was too stupid to call a timeout to let the booth review something, and he ran up and ran another sneak for no reason. I'll never understand it. I can't really help what you do. You got the ball to start overtime. It's the way it is.
Right.
Those rules are what they are. Then you got the ball, made a couple plays, went down and won.
Yep.
This game you had absolutely no reason to win. Minnesota did everything to beat you for 55 minutes. And then you beat them with a backup quarterback. Now, the Jamar Chase thing makes me nervous. I hear it's day to day. Nothing too. Because it looked bad when he came out with that thing on his shoulder and his hand was in that. Mm-hmm. I was writing them off in my head as I was staring at him on the sideline. But with him and all of those weapons, I don't want to play Cincinnati either.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely be a tough out. They got to go to Pittsburgh this week.
That game is going to end a whole lot to very little.
Yes, but then you go to Kansas City, and then you got a home date with the Cleveland Browns. So
got to win one of those two.
You got to, yeah, exactly. And I don't know that I like your chances to do either of those.
I do.
Number 5.
The Buffalo Bills.
Man, it's weird how they just seem to creep back up into this spot.
They seem to always buoy back here.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it gets, they buoy back here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to say what I've said multiple times. I wouldn't get too fat and sassy yet because you still lose practically every tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
That Dallas win didn't do much for you in terms of tiebreakers. You're still 4-5 in the conference. Miami would win that. So if you had some 3-way tie with Miami boots you out. Baltimore boots you out. Cleveland boots you out. Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Houston you might be able to get to, and Kansas City. They all take you out. That's a problem. The other problem that at least that I see for Buffalo is there's so many teams here. The worst part or the worst thing that you have done is start really bad in the AFC. That's the only tiebreaker that really matters. If this was a smaller field and we had 8 teams that could still make it, okay, I'm not that worried about it. You're going to get 2 easy wins. We'll see what happens with Miami. You're both probably going to make it. Buffalo, whoever loses that last game is going to be a wild card. Whoever wins, it's going to win the division. That's where I would be with that. I can't quite get there yet. Can't quite get there because there's a possibility that we're going to have some weird 5-way tie, and it's going to come down to those tiebreakers, and you just lose them.
Mm-hmm. Do they have to win out?
Yes. You win out, there's no way you miss the playoffs.
Agreed. Problem is, you got Miami staring at you on the schedule here. New England's not going to be easy. New England's always a problem.
New England. They'll beat New England to death. They'll beat New England 45-6.
Maybe.
Because you let them sneak up on you the last time you played, you're not doing that again.
I was going to say, have they done that, though?
They beat them in the playoffs one time. They beat them in the playoffs in a way one time that I haven't forgotten for several years.
All right.
I watched every second of that with just glee.
I mean, it's a listless team that you should beat, but for some reason those division games seem to.
I would be more worried about the Chargers with the fired coach bump, personally.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Because I don't know that there's anything there. Or maybe there is. I mean, with that kind of talent.
If you had Justin Herbert, it would be a lot more.
Yes, exactly.
With Easton Stick, I don't like your chances.
No.
They've beaten, other than the loss that they took to New England, they have beaten New England by 2 scores 4 times in a row.
Have they? Okay. All right.
And beat them 47-17 in the playoffs.
All right.
And I would say that's probably what this next game's going to look like.
Yeah.
Buffalo's got their hair on fire now.
Mm-hmm.
You gave them hope. This was the thing we told you could not do, is give them hope.
Yep. And that's exactly what they got with the win over the Dallas Cowboys this past week. We are into the top 4 when we come back here on the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The 2023 Christmas Playoff Manifesto continues next.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Welcome into this edition of CEOs You Should Know. I'm Mark Starling, and today we're talking with Jeff Furlan, CEO and owner of Hummingbird Insurance in Asheville. Jeff, what kind of charitable organizations does Hummingbird focus their efforts towards?
Well, we tend to focus our charity or our help on other organizations that focus on health or wellness in some way. Specifically, over the past few years, there are some food banks and also medical societies that we really like. And personally, I tend to like Bounty and Soul Food Bank that has very healthy, wholesome, a lot of farm fresh food locally. And then there's also Project Access, which provides medical consultations and possibly surgery to people that do not have the income and do not have coverage.
Thanks, Jeff. You've been listening to CEOs You Should Know, a short conversation with business leaders around Western North Carolina. To hear more of this conversation, just head to the audio archive of this station's website.
It is the Sportsocracy back on ESPN Asheville, rounding out the 2023 Christmas Playoff Manifesto. Flostradamus, Jeremy Green, Week 16 NFL Power Rankings into the top 4 at number 4.
This one and number 3 should be done together.
Okay, number 4?
The Miami Dolphins.
Number 3?
The Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, you notice something about 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They all have a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of questions. A lot of questions. This is the reason I couldn't do How Good Is Your Good. Because every one of these teams could be 3. And every one of them could be 12. I've seen all of you look terrible. I've seen all of you look good. So what I did was revert back to what I have thought and what my eyes have told me over the course of the entire year, and that is that the NFC sucks. The AFC is really deep, and I'm not sure that there aren't 7 teams in the AFC that wouldn't win the NFC if the San Francisco 49ers just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So notice there's only 2, and there's only one NFC team in the top 7.
Yes,
there's a reason for that. San Francisco will win the NFC in a walk. The AFC, I have absolutely no idea. No clue.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said the other day that we'll learn about Baltimore in the playoffs. Will we? We'll learn who advances. Can't tell you which team's better.
No.
There's a great chance that a weird team is coming out of the AFC. Because this feels like we're on a collision course for the teams that 1 and 2.
Yes.
Who are...
Number 2.
The San Francisco 49ers.
And number 1.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not knocking Baltimore out of that top slot until you give me a reason to. San Francisco's without a doubt the best team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore's the best team in the AFC, and they're the better conference. And it's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. And I don't see how people aren't seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to slight San Francisco. I'm not trying to prop up Kansas City. You want to know why Kansas City and Miami are this high? Because I trust Andy Reid and I trust Mike McDaniel. That's why.
Yep.
I don't trust Sean McDermott. I don't really trust Zach Taylor, and I don't trust Kevin Stefanski.
Agreed. Kansas City, to me, has to be up there at that 3 spot.
You have the best quarterback and the best coach.
Mm-hmm.
Miami, you have the second best coach and a quarterback that has a really creative playbook.
Yep. A little falter by Baltimore. Kansas City's right back at the top in the AFC. The San Francisco 49ers, it's I feel like, to me, San Francisco, we talked about this yesterday. To me, San Francisco's number 1 in the league. Baltimore's a very close second. It'll be a hell of a Super Bowl if those two get to face each other like they did several years ago. It will be awesome.
And you're on a collision course for that, which
Absolutely.
means there's almost zero chance it's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't see the impediment to San Francisco.
No, I think San Francisco's a given. Baltimore, to me, you could step up and lose to a Kansas City team that is better coached than you are by a smidge.
And I'll repeat this I said it yesterday, but I'll repeat it again for anybody who didn't hear it.
Yeah.
The difference between Baltimore and San Francisco, I saw San Francisco have 3 weeks where they were worse than any week I've seen Baltimore have. I didn't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
You're very close, but it's still there.
Yep.
And you tell me, they didn't have their left tackle. Baltimore hadn't had theirs. I mean, he's standing there, but he's 40% of the player that he is. Mr. Best Weapon. You kind of see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's got excuses. We'll see how it goes. Week 16 power rankings in the books. We will be back with you to close it out tomorrow with a Christmas spectacular right here in the Sportsocracy. Be sure to join us back here on ESPN Asheville and on the YouTubes in the Ingalls studio at noon.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Coldest day of the week will be today, modifying temperatures and getting well into the 50s as high pressure goes east-southeast of us later in the week. Good-looking day today, but a bit brisk or cold or whatever you want to call it. Lots of sunshine. Upper 30s, won't feel like it with a gusty northwest breeze. Tonight, we'll settle back to near 20. Yes, the colder spots will be in the teens. Wednesday, sunshine, 52. Thursday, sunny, 57. Friday, sunny, 56. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
On Millionaire's Cove.
Don, I won $1 million playing the $10 million spectacular scratch-off. And there's someone else.
Well, I won the $10 million top prize.
I don't know what I saw in your long-lost brother.
I have a brother?
New $10 million spectacular from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Instant millions change everything. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.11. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Hey, I came as fast as I could. What's wrong?
Everything's okay. I just need you to know I'm glowing up.
You just texted SOS Get Here Now.
And I stand by that because I switched to Cricket and got the all-new Motorola Razr. I have entered my flip era, and I am glowing up.
I'm gonna go back home.
I support that.
Switch to Cricket and get the all-new Motorola Razr for $199.99. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Must open a new line on a $60 month voice plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
From the Ingalls studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.